Hello everyone, this is part 2 of What If Naruto Had the 10 Tails Juubi, and I hope you guys enjoy this video and to like, to subscribe, to see more comment down below. Isaribi. Where is the cargo? The ship didn't show Amaki. Have you made any progress on a cure for me? She notices his smirk. No. In fact, I haven't even tried to look for one. Why would I want to cure you when I just intend to dissect you once your usefulness has ended? Isaribi smiles and he is confused. Something funny. You haven't noticed yet. Noticed what, brat? He looks at her curiously before his eyes grow wide. Your mutation is gone. How? Naruto drops down behind him and knocks him onto the ground. Because there was nothing to cure. No mutation. Just a forced bloodline she didn't know how to control. Well, we fixed that. But enough about your failures, let's talk about an old friend of yours. Amaki is afraid. What friend? Naruto's gaze gets colder if you can imagine. Orochimaru. Why would you want to know about him? I haven't seen him in years anyway. Anko walks up behind him and smirks. Oh, we know. He hasn't been here since he tossed me out the door with this hickey on my neck. We're more interested in what he was doing then and why you are still here if you no longer work for him. Anko. But you're dead. Wrong fuckstick. I survived even though that bastard fucked with my mind. Now I'm back and I want answers. A pair of snakes slither out of Anko's sleeve towards the man. How quickly I get them determines how much pain your balls are going to be in when my friends here are done with you. Answer quick enough and my cold friend Naruto here might just let you live. He looks at the snakes then at Naruto and decides the snakes are less scary. Okay, just call them off. Orochimaru perfected his immortality jutsu, but each body is only viable for about 3 years before it rejects him and needs a new one. He also can't use senjutsu in his replacements because they aren't strong enough. That's what the seal is for. It's a backup for his soul and a medium for using nature energy. Yours was the first prototype. I worked with him under orders to look for and harvest bloodlines for transfer. I still do it because it interests me. The girl's been useful for funding my research, that's why I kept her around. Anko scowls. Well, Naruto, what's the word? Let him live. The man sighs in relief. But send him to Konoha for questioning about all this and request a cleanup team to come in and help anybody left if possible. The man panics until Isaribi knocks him out. Nice. Thanks. Anko puts Amaki in a prisoner scroll and hands it to one of her snakes along with the message for Tsunade and they all leave. Arriving back at the beach, Naruto turns to Isaribi and considers. Now we are done here, you have a choice to make, Isaribi. You can remain here or go on your way as you like. You can head to a zoo to help there and find a home. Or the most dangerous option. You can come with us. We are heading to Kiri to help with the war there and to progress with my training. It will be dangerous, but there if we succeed you will be welcomed with open arms. I think, I'll come with you. Once we are done in Kiri there's no reason I can't go to a zoo, is there? I want to help the rebels and find a home with the people who helped me. Naruto smiles. No, there is no reason at all and that's a good answer. But if you come with us you must get stronger. Anko hugs Isaribi from behind and grins. I can help with that. Isaribi blushes and nods. It wasn't long before they began hopping islands again, heading towards the east, skirting the edge of Kiri territory hoping to find the rebels. It took them days. In that time Isaribi, or as she came to be known, Ribi, found her transformation easier and easier and her water attacks stronger with Anko's help. It was total chance when they happened upon the site of a battle. Not a large one but not exactly a small skirmish either. Tiger frowned. Which side do we help? I can't make out whose side is whose. Naruto reaches out with his senses as Mouse taught him. He was a good sensor before, but with help he had doubled his range. He sensed the chakra of all involved in the skirmish. On has a single Byakuganai. Most likely stolen. Another has 2 Keki Genkai. Cage level. Another is weird. His chakra is weak, but his sword seems to be shaping it oddly. A half dozen others with minor bloodlines that they don't seem to have much training in. The rest are pure water chakra. The woman with auburn hair and the blue dress is the one with the twin bloodlines. And those around her. I will do this myself. Yugao frowns. You sure? We could help. Naruto nods. She is at least part Uzumaki. I can sense it. And like that he's gone. Next thing anybody knows is a large rumble in the ground causing the group to look back to the field and the fighting to stop. With the rebels. Lady May, what is that? Shaking her head. I don't know, Al, but it's powerful. Feels like Yagura but stronger. Not as angry. Or at least, not at us. The swordsman whimpers. I hope it's here to help us and not kill us. She nods and the others agree. If it is, then make peace now, because I don't think we could stop it, Chojuro. Suddenly the ground around them explodes in a sea of dust, throwing the Kiri ninjas back, and the ground begins to shake. A figure is seen in the dust, rising slowly before it speaks in a low but powerful voice. You know, where I come from, people with bloodlines are loved. A little too much if you ask me, but at least they are treated as human or useful tools. But you people treat them like my village treated me. I got lucky. I just got exiled when they feared me too much, but these people get hunted down in their own homes. Tortured, raped, poisoned, burned, executed. Worse, it's not just them but friends and families too. I am considered cold, distant. Most who meet me are afraid, but they don't know the truth. I distance myself because I too fear. Fear to be close to others in case I am betrayed again. And afraid because if I ever lost control of my emotions, I might hurt those I come to care for. That's a problem for you though. See, those I care for are not in range. But you are. And I am angry. Suddenly the earth stops quaking and the dust clears to reveal a young blonde man. One holding a red katana that only two people recognize. Anko and Yugao gasp. He's using it. I thought he was going to wait. Yugao shakes her head. He was, but I suspect it's because he's fighting for family and these people pissed him off. Back on the battlefield, a Kiri ninja steps forward and laughs. A kid. Geez kid, don't scare us like that. Talking all tough. And what was with that voice? Scary. How'd you do that, and where are your parents? Naruto looks at the man and he flinches at his eyes. Cold. The eyes of a killer. You can ask them when you meet them in the afterlife. Suddenly he disappears and 6 men explode in a bloodbath, shocking everybody around them. Naruto sheathes his sword and goes through hand signs. Wood style, great tree spear. Around the group of rebels, a ring of spikes grows, piercing the Kiri ninjas, killing them instantly in a gory mess of blood. In the trees everybody looks at Dragon. Hey, don't look at me, I didn't teach him that. Back with the rebels. Wood style. Is he a senju, you think? But why would Konoha exile him? Ao shakes his head. He doesn't look like a senju. Looks more like the fourth Hokage. I am curious about the exile too though. May hears none of this and is instead blushing at this man who has come to their rescue. He's quite handsome. Not to mention with those whisker marks, cute as all get out. The others begin to panic as she approaches him but freeze when he fixes them with his eyes. May, however, continues forward. Thank you for your help, young man. But who are you? Why did you help us? You are Kiri rebels of the Bloodlines faction. I need to get stronger and I am on a time limit. The fastest way is in war. But I don't like to fight for fools and bigots, so I wish to help you. I will be honest though, I have another agenda. And that is the Mizukage. Something is wrong with him. All reports say he's a kind man with a love for his people not seen in any of his predecessors. Then he starts exterminating bloodline clans. There is no logic. Something must be controlling him. May frowns. I thought the same, but I can't see how. He's a Jinchuriki of the Three Tails. Most Jinchuriki are immune to Genjutsu, but more so for him. Naruto shakes his head. A misconception. Only Jinchuriki who have made friends with the tailed beast are immune, and while Sunbi does excel in Genjutsu, he is also lazy and isolationist. He wants only to be left alone. Even if Yagura and he were friends, I doubt he would help him if it means he is left alone. Besides, whatever is strong enough to control a cage-level ninja is strong enough to control any biju below 6 tails. Ao narrows his eyes. You know a lot about Jinchuriki and biju. Naruto looks at him closely. Are Byakugan stolen or received during the Third Ninja War in a border incursion, I would bet. Ao nods. Don't worry, I have Hyuga friends, but personally I don't see an issue. As to your question, I should know about them because I am the Jinchuriki of the 9 tails. Or rather I was. Ao widens his eye and reaches for a kunai before May stops him. What do you mean was? A Jinchuriki who loses their biju dies. Naruto nods. Generally true unless you are an Uzumaki. However, I did not lose my Biju but rather he changed into something else. I will however discuss that more in private. May nods. How is it you have the wood style? I've only ever heard of the first Hokage using it. That's related to your last question and will also be explained in private. Naruto pauses and frowns. I suspect your next question will be about my exile or my family, so you can save those two. I will call my companions down now if you don't mind. May nods and gives an order to remain calm. Naruto nods back the way he came, and the others walk over to him. May examines them. Three-leaf Anbu, Anko Matarashi and Yugao Azuki. I don't know the other girl, but I expect if she is with you then she is strong. Isaribi shakes her head. Not really, but I am getting there. May smiles and nods. I would ask about why Anbu are traveling with an exile, let alone two of the Leaf's most prominent kunoichi, but I expect that's related to the other questions I have. Correct. Naruto nods. As expected of somebody with Uzumaki blood. You pick things up quickly. May raises an eyebrow but decides questions can wait. Chojuro whispers into May's ear. Are you sure we can trust them, my lady? May nods. He just saved our lives and asked to join us. Besides, I don't sense any deceit from any of them. He nods and steps back. Naruto eyes his blade. Ah, Hiramakare. I wondered about that chakra I felt. Tell me, how does it feel to you? Does it heed you fully? Chojuro widens his eyes and looks to May, who nods. Yes, sometimes, but I still find it difficult sometimes. It still resists me. Naruto nods. It was designed with an Uzumaki in mind, as were all the 7 blades. The fact it accepts you means you are doing good, but you need to work on your reserves, stamina, and most of all you need to listen to your sword. Chojuro questions but May answers. Uzumaki had high chakra reserves and dense chakra. High stamina and life force. A strict moral code. And the blades are all at least partially sentient, so what he said makes sense. That said, I didn't know about them being of Uzumaki make. Naruto nods. Sadly, most information on their history is either destroyed or lost, though I pieced together a bit. Tell me, how is Zabuza and Haku? Did they join you like I asked? May smiles. They did. He didn't mention you though. Naruto nods. He still thinks of his pride too much. Of course, I was barely a genin back then. May raises an eyebrow, surprised that he has grown from that to this in just a couple years. Well, let's get back to our camp. I suspect the more we talk, the more questions I will have. Yugao giggles. You have no idea. The rebel base. So, while we wait for them, how did you meet Zabuza and Haku? It was my first C-rank mission. Escort and protect the bridge builder Tazuna until his work was done. But he lied about the mission and we were attacked by missing nin. The demon brothers were pathetic for Chunin, and this is coming from somebody widely considered barely genin material. I killed one of them and the other died after confirming his target. We decided to continue anyway. Arrogant, I know, but what do you expect with an overconfident Uzumaki who is eager to prove himself and an Uchiha? Anyway, it wasn't long before we encountered Zabuza. Gato had hired him to kill Tazuna. Our sensei Kakashi was fighting him when he was captured in a water prison. Using solid transformation and a shadow clone, I worked with Sasuke to free our sensei by throwing a demon wind shuriken with my clone in its shadow. He caught the real one before dodging the second, who broke transformation and threw a kunai, forcing him to drop the water prison. After that, Kakashi beat Zabuza, but before he could kill him, a Kiri hunter nin put him under with senbon to the neck. Had Kakashi not been suffering chakra exhaustion, then he would have noticed sooner that he was fake. It was a week before they attacked again. I was still asleep at the start, but thanks to that I stopped Gato's thugs taking Tazuna's family hostage. After I proceeded to the bridge where Sasuke was fighting the hunter nin who we later identified as Haku. He was doing well for an Uchiha who only just unlocked his Sharingan, but Haku was better. Kakashi was about to use his jutsu to kill Zabuza and Haku moved to intercept when Gato arrived to betray them. Good thing too, because 3 seconds later and Haku, Zabuza or both would be dead. We put aside our mission to kill Gato, and after that Zabuza had no reason to stick around any longer. Before he left, I suggested he join you here as your goals aligned. Of course, I expect he raided Gato's mansion for funding first, but we expected as much. May nods. He mentioned Kakashi and some brats, but he never went into detail. Like I said, the man has his pride to think of. Beyond what was in the report at Konoha, I honestly never bothered telling anybody. Zabuza walks in at this time. I'm grateful for that kid. Haku grins. Hi Naruto. Naruto smiles. Zabuza. Haku. Still pretending to be a boy. Hey, only for the sake of my sanity. Haku smiles just a little too sweetly. Oh, Zabuza, how's your neck? Zabuza sweats a bit. It's fine Haku, thank you. Okay, so back to my earlier questions now that we are in private. Naruto smiles. Not sure if you will believe half of what I will tell you, but if we are to work together you deserve that much. My mother was Kushina Uzumaki and my father, as your friend Al thought, is Minato Namikaze. Mei's eyes widen. Well, that explains your good looks. Naruto smiles and bows his head. Thank you. You are quite attractive yourself. Mei smiles. As to the rest, I have a story for you. For the next hour Naruto informs Mei, Zabuza and Haku of the history of shinobi, Shinju, and how he came to be the Shinju Jinchuriki. He also explained his bloodlines and his banishment along with his plans. You're right kid, it's hard to believe. But it fits with what I know of the history of the Biju, and it would explain your ability to use bloodlines that are supposedly dead or not linked to your family. You said you are able to use ice style. Yeah, but barely. Shinju helps me with wood style but says others I must unlock myself. My wind element is strong, but I have only just begun with water, so it's still weak. That's part of why I am here, as I figured what better place to study than in Kiri during a war. Haku looks excited at the prospect of not being the last ice user. I can help with that. Mei smiles. You are right. There is no better place or time for it. And Haku here has been invaluable to us with her ice. I don't doubt she can help you. When you unlock your fire element, I can help you with boil and lava release myself, and could probably spare some scrolls for dead Kiri bloodlines since they aren't any use to us anymore. Well, in exchange for an alliance with the future Azu, of course. Naruto bows. Thank you Mei. I would be glad to accept an alliance when the time comes. Can't put my finger on it, but you've changed kid. Haku smiles. Less cold, less angry, smarter and stronger. You've grown up. He shrugs. Had to happen sooner or later. I was never as dumb as I acted though. Wouldn't have survived 5 years of my life if I was, but I will admit after meeting you two I worked hard to get stronger and smarter. Mei quirks her head. Why did you say I had Uzumaki blood? I can sense chakra. Uzumaki chakra is unique regardless of how diluted. I'm guessing one of your parents or grandparents was an Uzumaki. Given your strength and the density of your chakra, I would guess it was a female family member. The children of female Uzumaki almost always end up having denser chakra. That would also explain your last name being Terumi rather than Uzumaki. Mei nods in thought. Why do you have your mother's name then? Only a very few in Konoha were ever privy to the identity of my parents. My father had a lot of enemies after all. Besides that, I chose to keep it after I left because I feel closer to my mother. In fact, I feel almost nothing for my dad. Well, not anything beyond admiration of his strength anyway. Mei nods. If it was me, I would hate him for doing that to me, but I suppose having grown up hated and alone you can't bring yourself to hate him but instead settle for apathy. Shinju said something similar, but it came across more mathematical than that. Zabuza nods. Understandable. He might live millions of years, but if you don't live as one of us, no amount of observation can let you understand us really. Besides, you said he's been sealed away for around 1,000 years and only had a couple hundred with humans before that. Not a lot of time for a god. He's right about that. For me that's nothing. So, what exactly do you intend to do here? I imagine I won't be giving you orders like one of my own. Naruto shakes his head. For the most part in camp one will either be resting or training. Experience in command I can get later. What I need is high-stress situations to test jutsu and to sharpen my instincts. For that you get to tell me where to go and what to do. All kinds of missions from protection to assassination to outright battle or massacres. It's experience in battle I need. I also intend to leave an open invitation for any Uzumaki I find to join Azu either now or whenever they wish. Mei frowns. Does that invitation extend to me? Naruto smiles kindly. Of course. Whether by name or not, you are Uzumaki by blood. Al smiles. Could be a good opportunity to find yourself a husband, Lady Mei. Mei smiles sweetly, sending a shiver down the spines of her ninja. Al, shut up, or I'll kill you. Al sweet drops. What did I say? Naruto laughs. Definitely an Uzumaki. We might be fun-loving and mischievous, but we also have short fuses about different things. For me it used to be bad-mouthing ramen, but now it's family and those I love. I expect for May it's the subject of marriage or relationships. Most likely stemming from a sense of loneliness and frustration. May nods with a sad smile. Sounds right. Zabuza frowns. Wow, you have changed, kid. I know psychologists who have spent time trying to figure her out and failed. Well, Uzumaki are relatively simple by nature, but people tend to overcomplicate things. Basically, don't prank us or we will prank you. Don't piss us off or you die horribly. Family before all else. Even clan or village. May smiles. Sounds like my mother. Naruto tilts his head. Red hair. Short temper. High metabolism. May brightens. Yeah, how'd you know? He shrugs. All Uzumaki traits. Red hair or shades stemming from it are extremely common for Uzumaki. The rest comes from our longevity and metabolism. I guess your hair comes from your father then. I seem to recall he had blonde hair. Yeah. Konoha were blinded by their hate to not see the resemblance. Even before Shinju told me, I would think I would have guessed it eventually. May nods. How much of this can I tell others? Keep my parents to yourself and Shinju as well. Anything else is fair game. People will make assumptions, but without that information they can't figure anything out. And your name? My friends can call me Naruto, but in the open call me Baradasupiraru, Blood Spiral. May smirks. A name fit for an Uzumaki in war. And your companions? I won't speak for them, though I am pretty sure Ribi wants to learn more. She's only just fully gained control of her bloodline and lacks experience and a good teacher. We can only help her so much. May nods. What's her bloodline and specialities? A fish-human hybrid transformation that can move fast and breath in water. She also has good control for water attacks that may or may not be jutsu but don't require hand signs. She specializes in ambush tactics and sabotage and destruction in a waterborne environment. She spent a number of years attacking merchant ships and retrieving their cargo under the thumb of a nasty worm of a man who said he could cure her. Neither knew it was a bloodline and incurable, but he never tried. Intended to dissect her once she lost any use to him. Zabuza scowls. Humans disgust me sometimes. Haku nods. I'll help her out. I specialize in ambush and assassination, as you know, and my water jutsu should suit her well if she can learn them. She will also need conditioning, I would guess. Naruto nods. Don't push her too hard at first. She's barely more than civilian at this point. Her bloodline was forced chemically. It was dormant before a few years ago. He nods. Haku wasn't much better when I found her. I'll take it slow at first. Zabuza was a great teacher. A little harsh at times, but then he had to be given his life then. Zabuza blushes a bit, but only May notices. I appreciate it, Zabuza. He waves it off and leaves with Haku. I missed him when he left Kiri. Even with his reputation, he was a good man. A ninja must be a killer and kill his emotions first, but just because he must do that when on a mission does not mean he must at home. Something Danzo never got. Danzo, leader of Root in Konoha and member of the Council of Elders. Teammate of the 3rd Hokage under Tobirama Senju and his rival for the seat. Root was a secret section of Anbu under his sole command. When my lineage came out on the day of my exile and my holdings in the village with it, he tried to kill me with his root and then attempted to put me under genjutsu with a stolen Sharingan eye. He failed both times and was taken into custody as a traitor and recently executed. Lady Tsunade doesn't know what happened to his root though. They disappeared with no trace. Lady Tsunade, you speak with such respect for somebody who exiled you. Naruto shakes his head. On the contrary, she was not a part of it. The civilian council went over her head to the daimyo. She always treated me as a son. He shrugs. As she should. She is my godmother after all. Jiraiya has little of my respect because he failed his duty as my godfather. May giggles. I don't know why, but I half expected you to call him pervy sage or something. Naruto smirks. It fits him, and I would, but honestly everybody has a little pervert in him even if they deny it. Besides, he uses it as a coping mechanism because of his life and his failure to gain the love of the one person he wants. Tsunade. May raises an eyebrow. I would never have guessed. He chuckles. Not surprising. To do so you would need to know him, Tsunade, and have read his books. May blushes. Well, I have read them. Though I can't say I'm a fan. Too much smut, not enough story for me. He nods. You notice the main love interest in each story is a busty blonde. I did, but I never questioned that. Yup, he's got it bad. Naruto smirks. You know, May, I've been trying to think of an appropriate revenge for him, and I think you just gave me an idea. Oh, he sniggers. I think when I get some time, I might try writing a book or two and see if I can outsell him. Might be a fun challenge. I look forward to reading it. But for now, I think we should all get some rest. We got some strong intel yesterday, so we will be stepping up missions tomorrow. That's why you found us like you did. Naruto nods. Hopefully we can help finish this war within the next few months. May shrugs and smiles. A little optimistic maybe, but we can hope. Naruto smirks and looks back at her before leaving. If I might offer some advice. Flirting is nice and fun, but most men are oblivious and the kind who respond to it easily in the way you want are not the best guys. I am no exception. My advice is to be a little more direct with what you want. Even if rejected, at least then you aren't wasting your time. He then leaves and May considers his advice and smiles. Hey, maybe he's right, but not now. Maybe when this war is done. Next day, a large crowd has gathered to watch a spectacle. As May, Zabuza and Haku wake, this is the scene they find. Remember, Naruto, the boulders are not just stone but earth. Your body provides the strength, but that doesn't mean they can't be manipulated like any earth. Focus and then expand that focus. Naruto is balancing boulders as large as he is on his hands as he fends off kunai from Anko and Mouse, either by shifting his body or manipulating vines with wood style. This was an Anbu level exercise and everybody knew it. They were impressed this was being done by a teenager. And the fact he had his shirt off and was sweating up a storm had more than a few girls drooling. Zabuza smirks to May. And I thought I was an early riser. The troops say he's been at this for 2 hours straight with no breaks. I know seasoned war vets who would break from this. May nods. My own earth manipulation training wasn't this advanced, but then wood style is more delicate than lava if what I am told is true. Tiger takes note of May and nods. Okay kid, that's enough for now. Time to work. Naruto nods and to the shock of the crowd shatters the boulders in his hands. Lady May. Sorry if I disturbed your sleep. I only sleep a few hours a night and try not to be loud too early, but I'm not always successful. May smiles. I was due to get up anyway. Ready for your first mission? He nods. On the next island over, a potential recruit wishes to join us, but he's boxed in by enemy ninja. We don't want to risk a raw recruit, so we want to get him out quietly. Think you can handle it? The group smirk and Naruto laughs, causing confusion. Something funny. Anko grins. The Anbu always knew Naruto would be perfect for that kind of job even before heading to the academy. May raises an eyebrow. Why's that? Zabuza, remember what I used to wear. Hey, you mean that kill me orange jumpsuit? Yeah, why? People often referred to it that way, but one of my most infamous pranks in the Leaf was painting the Hokage monument in broad daylight in that. I wasn't seen until I set off a smoke bomb to draw attention, and even the Anbu couldn't catch me. Eventually I let myself be caught by a Chunin who I knew was sympathetic and would later be my teacher. Tiger chuckles. Don't forget sneaking into Anbu headquarters and putting sneezing powder in all our masks. Then a month later dyeing all of the Hyuga's underwear hot pink and hanging them in the street. All but one. I let Hinata out of that, if you remember. I only prank those who deserve it or who need a laugh. Sometimes for a challenge. Naruto shakes his head. My point is, this kind of mission besides general widespread destruction is right up my alley. May, Zabuza and Haku are all laughing. I remember trying to figure out what was with all the pink underwear in the street when I requested help from Konoha that day. I also remember asking him about it and he refused to answer for fear of a local prankster. Naruto bows dramatically. I aim to please. Anyway, give me the details of the mission and I'll see what I can do. May nods and hands him the file before walking off, still giggling. Naruto checks the file and raises an eyebrow. That could be useful. But I don't understand why he can't get out himself. Mouse's interest is piqued. Why? The recruit, his swift release. Tiger's eyes widen behind his mask. Impossible. The last of that clan died fighting for Iwa against the fourth. It's the reason he is hated in Iwa. The only exception was a missing nin from Konoha named Hiriko who died soon after Orochimaru left. Killed by Kakashi. Naruto frowns. So, Either a family member of a hidden survivor, an experiment of Orochimaru, or a trap. It does seem too good to be true. Swift release is a bitch of a bloodline to beat. Anko looks at Naruto. Normally I would say to drop this one or take backup, but I don't think you can afford to. Naruto nods. This is a test. In that case, if it is a trap, I will try to capture an enemy nin quietly to interrogate. You were intending to teach me in that area after all. Anko smirks sadistically. Sounds like fun. Mouse tilts her head. You think May knows about the likelihood of it being a trap? Tiger nods. That might be the point. Not much of a test if he knows all the details. Teaches him to think on his feet and good judgment under pressure. Exactly what he said he wanted. If she knows, then she is doing what we want. Dragon nods. Though it's a little underhanded. Others might be angry at this kind of move, but like you said, it's what we want and she knows that. Hey might want to work on it a bit though if Naruto saw through it so easy. Naruto shrugs. Can't be perfect. Gotta work with what she's got. Naruto walks away to prepare for his mission. Dragon scratches his head. Anybody notice he's growing faster than expected? Even for a Jinchuriki it shouldn't be possible. Mouse nods. The drive to survive can do that. His life does depend on him growing and fast with what's inside him. It took the whole day to get to the island as Naruto decided to take it slow since he wanted the cover of darkness for this mission and not push his luck. When the time came, he found himself uneasy. It was far too easy to enter the village unseen and find his target. He was about to reveal himself when he felt something off about his chakra. He felt no trace of swift release and worse, he seemed to be under genjutsu. Seems your instincts serve you well again. Didn't expect the recruit to be a victim though. Didn't even cross my mind. I'll have to remember that in the future. This means rescue and capture as well though. That makes this harder. Why not use shadow clones then? Because since I learned it, I've let other skills drop and have become reliant. Sometimes you need the added challenge to sharpen your skills like a blade. Moving slowly and deliberately through the shadows, he gets close to the victim and covers his mouth before releasing the genjutsu on him. Whispering to the boy, he inquires. Tell me, do you know what is going on? He shakes his head. Last I remember, my father caught me practicing with my bloodline and he panicked. I blacked out and woke up here. Don't know what happened to my mother though. Hope she's alright. Naruto nods. What's your bloodline? Mother called it Shikotsumiku. I can manipulate, harden and even grow new bones. She said it's a dead bloodline she never expected to see again after her brother died. A Kaguya bloodline. Useful and powerful but with drawbacks. It seems Kaguya had more descendants than expected. That was her main bloodline. I wondered if the name was a connection to her. The boy frowns. I'll explain later. If it's found out, you are free, they will kill you, so we need to escape. Have any stealth training? I can move fairly silently and keep out of sight fairly well, but anybody above Chunin could spot me. My chakra signature is difficult to hide. Shouldn't be a problem. Let's go. He nods and they leave the village. Naruto was again struck by how easy this had been. Walking for a few miles, he stopped and looked to the boy. This mission was not what was expected and has been far too easy for my liking. I need to capture a prisoner for interrogation. I won't be long, so stay here and out of sight. He nods and Naruto disappears. An hour later he finds an isolated guard. Low Junin, so not in command but high enough to know something, and best of all he's alone. Naruto moves silently behind the man and knocks him out with a quick chop to the neck and seals him in a prisoner scroll before returning to his charge. You're back. Did you find what you want? Naruto shows him the prisoner scroll and gestures to follow. We will make camp near the coast and then we need to talk. The boy nods with his curiosity piqued. An hour later the moon is getting high and Naruto calls a stop. Setting his clones to make camp, he talks to the boy. I'm Baradasupiraru. What's your name? Kusomaru. Naruto flinches. Your father was not a kind man. Kusomaru chuckles. No, he wasn't. I take it yours is not real. Naruto nods. An alias for now. Do you know of the civil war going on right now? Rumors only. We lived on the fringes of Kiri. He nods. Years ago, something happened to make the Mizukage hate all bloodlines. At first it was simply incurring a curfew in Kiri. Then it was the arresting of those using the gifts in public. Soon it was a massacre. The first few times was quiet. The extermination of a clan or two. Then survivors escaped and spread word. Soon those with bloodlines were so feared even their own families killed them, as happened to a friend of mine. You can guess where I am going. Kuso nods. Revolution and resistance. So, my father placed me under genjutsu to lure them in with promise of a new recruit and killing them. Probably resulting in my own death in the process. Which means my mother is probably already dead. Naruto nods. Your mother belonged to the Kaguya clan. His eyes bulge. Those madmen. Naruto grins. Oh, not all of them. Even those who never awakened their bloodline were prone to sickness and madness though. More so if you did. I met a Kaguya serving Orochimaru once. He was strong but he died because of his sickness, but he was sane if fanatical in his devotion to his master. You seem to have escaped that fate though. Lucky you. Kusomaru looks sad. Yeah, lucky me. Don't feel too bad. Would it make you feel better if I told you of your family? This gains his attention. Naruto spends much of the night speaking of Kaguya and her family. Kusomaru listens attentively as this is information about his mother's family he was always denied. Hey, no wonder our family went mad so often. I would like to help the rebels and bring peace to Kiri. Naruto nods. That's why I came. Your bloodline was a lie but your name and face matches my file. Mission was rescue and recruitment. Kuso frowns. What were you expecting? Naruto frowns. Oddly enough, that's what tipped me off to the trap. If they had stuck to the truth, I wouldn't suspect anything, but swift release is not only a dead bloodline but exceedingly powerful. Far too good to be true and would have allowed you to escape without my help easily. You think somebody was tipping you off or just didn't think it through? Naruto shrugs. Could be either. That's why I took that guard. Well, get some sleep. We leave early tomorrow, and it will take half the day to cross to the next island. Kuso nods and goes to sleep. Lunchtime the next day. A haggard-looking Kusumaru walks alongside Naruto through the camp towards Mei. Baradasupiraru, I see you have succeeded. Any trouble? He nods. More than a little. The mission was easy enough, but things don't quite add up. Anko and I will interrogate a prisoner I took to find out more. Meet Kusomaru. He bows to Mei and Mei frowns. Interesting name. He chuckles. So I'm told. My father was not kind. Mei smiles kindly. Is it true you have swift release? He shakes his head. No, I am afraid that was a lie. I was under genjutsu and the bait for a trap. I have the Kaguya bloodline. Don't worry, I'm perfectly sane and healthy and wish to be of use here. Mei nods. I knew a few Kaguya. Not all were mad. Rain was particularly kind. Kusomaru's eyes widen. She's my mother. But, I fear she is dead. I am sorry. But hopefully you can help us keep that fate from others by helping us end this war. He nods. Baradasupiraru, keep me posted on your prisoner. I am curious as to what happened. Later that day, a few people were avoiding a certain corner of the camp where screams of a haunting nature could be heard. Many people shivered in sympathy of the poor soul inside the cabin recently constructed there. None wanted to know what was happening to him. Ha 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 ha, kid, that was great. You're a natural. I mean, I scare people with my sadistic nature, but that cold face is perfect for this work. What was that seal though? He shrugs. Kurenai-sensei showed me a genjutsu called hell viewing. I thought it might be good for torture if I recreated the effect in a seal. Fear is a great motivator after all, and few people ever are truly fearless or in control enough to ignore it. Also, since it's a seal and not genjutsu, it's unbreakable and doesn't feel like one, so the target is less aware of it. Anko smirks. Now I know why Biki said they would never let your mother into T&I. That's downright sinister. I love that. Naruto shakes his head at Anko's antics and goes to tell Mei the news. In her tent, Mei is dealing with the complaints and has a slight headache when he walks in. There you are. Care to tell me why half the camp is scared shitless of your cabin? Naruto looks a little sheepish. Sorry. Should have thought to put up silencing seals. I'll fix that later. Well, did you learn anything yet? He nods. It seems the reason it was set up as it was and was so easy was because they expected a different response. They expected a small group or yourself to try a more direct approach. It only worked because I have been working on my habit of depending on certain skills which make my work easier. They never expected a silent infiltration of a single person, so security was more spread out. Mei nods. That means Yagura has finally branded me as a threat. He nods. Seems so. How do you think he will respond? If he holds to his previous nature, he will investigate what went wrong, then look for information on who is responsible and try to have them eliminated. Fat chance of that. I left no evidence. Didn't use any jutsu or even surface walking, so no chakra signature. No witnesses or bodies. Nothing. Only way he could find out is if somebody here says something. She nods and smiles. Maybe we should use that. Naruto raises an eyebrow. Use me as bait for an ambush. If we could do that a few times, it might piss him off and force his hand. Mei nods. And end this all the sooner. If you have some high priority targets in mind to build my reputation, it will work all the better, I think. Mei smirks. Oh, looking to get famous, are we? Naruto shrugs. Live long enough and do a good job, fame is inevitable. This is about more than that. And nobody suddenly popping up and taking credit for foiling his plans is nothing. But a ninja taking out his best is a more tempting target. Mei nods in thought. Good point. Work on your Suiten for a while and I will see what I can dig up. Good work, by the way. Naruto nods and leaves to rest. 3 months of working with Haku on his Suiten and Tiger on his Doton, along with going on some missions, had yielded amazing results. Especially once he started using shadow clones to speed up his Suiten training. He was now capable of using most of his current wood-style jutsu without help, and his ice style was almost at Haku's level. She was talking to him about teaching him her demonic ice mirrors. Thanks anyway, Haku, but that jutsu should remain with you. Besides, it doesn't fit my style. Haku smiles sadly. Oh well, I am surprised how fast you learn though. Shadow clones are scary. Naruto chuckles. I wouldn't worry. I'm about the only person who can use them that way. Haku blushes. When this war is done, would you like to go out with me? Naruto frowns sadly. You are my friend Haku and I am grateful for the training. I do find you attractive, but I don't think of you that way. Haku looks at him. So, no chance. Naruto shakes his head and chuckles. Tsunade suggested I make a CRA for a zoo, but I told her. I will find one person to love. If my future wife wants to invite others to our bed, then I won't complain, but it must be by agreement. If you are still interested in me when and if that happens, you will have a shot at me. Until then, let's stick to friends. Haku smiles and nods. Okay, it's something, I guess. Walking back through the camp, Naruto smiles. He's become a famous person in Kiri. Assassinating high-profile commanders, rescuing valuable resistance members, the destruction of 3 enemy outposts single-handed, and the capture of the head of the Kiri hunter Nins most recently. Yagura would be chomping at the bit to get him, and soon. He didn't know the half of it. In Kiri, what do we know of this Baradasupiraru person? A council member sighs. It's infuriating, but very little. We have a description and a few accounts of him using wood style, which is confusing as people say he isn't a senju. One thing we managed to get was that he's an exile from Konoha and they are pissed at his loss. We inquired about a name as it's obviously an alias, but the Hokage has apparently clamped down on her council and nobody is talking. We got some rumors to his parents, but with him having wood style it makes no sense. A middle-aged and well-built man frowns. I managed to get information from an informant that he's responsible for springing that trap I set up 3 months ago with my son. He came out of nowhere. Investigation into it left nothing. No chakra residue, no witnesses, and only a single missing guard. Whoever he is, he has skill in infiltration that is beyond many of our own Junin and even hunters. Based on his other achievements, he is also powerful and skilled in widespread destruction. He took the head hunter Nin alive with no trace, just like my son. Yagura nods. It appears if we are to be rid of him, he must be lured out, and I must finish him myself. Shu. The Junin all speak among themselves before Yagura silences them. I am well aware this is likely what they want, but this is what this was heading to anyway. Besides, I am curious about him. I am told he's quite young. Exceptional even with a bloodline, don't you think? Shu nods. Agreed. My source in the enemy camp tells me that every 2 weeks he spends a full day alone in a cabin near the sea. Nobody knows what he does, and it's the only thing he does consistently. He's due to visit again in 3 days. Yagura frowns. Do we have the location? Shu nods. It's on the edge of Kiri's main island to the east. No other reported activity in the area. Yagura chuckles. I see. My lord. It's not a trap as such, nor is it personal as you might think. It's an invitation to speak and possibly for a duel. An invitation to end hostilities without further bloodshed. A challenge. This Baradasupiraru is intelligent and bold. I like him already. I will leave tomorrow alone to accept. Dismissed. Shu stays behind as everybody leaves. Something to say, Shu. Is this wise, my lord? He shakes his head. Regardless of whether it is or not, it is inevitable this was ends. Kill this Baradasupiraru and the war continues until the next challenge. Fail and I die, and you are free to make up with your son if he wishes it. Shu looks guilty. I do not blame you, Shu. You have more than proved your loyalty to me already. Back with the resistance. A messenger is rushing full speed through camp towards the command tent. Bursting inside as Mei is in a meeting with Naruto and his team takes place, he tries to catch his breath. Gasp, Lady Mei, urgent news from our spy. The Mizukage has taken the challenge. He leaves now to the Baradasupiraru retreat. Mei smirks. You were right. Are you certain you are up to the challenge? Naruto nods. I hope to resolve it without violence, but it is doable. I admit this will be only my second time against another Jinchuriki and it will be a challenge, but I don't see it as a likelihood I will lose, and if I do then nothing changes. The war goes on. Mei nods. Don't be reckless. I want you back here alive whether you succeed or not. Naruto nods with a smile. Don't worry, I won't die just yet. After all, I have family now. Mei smirks. I had no idea 6 of my own were remnants of a zoo. I'm happy they will have a home again, though I had hoped it would be Kiri. Fight well, Naruto, and bring peace. Naruto leaves to pack. Anko is worried. This is his biggest challenge yet. Last time it was a crazy Ichibi, and even with Gamabunta he barely won. The tails of a Biju do not multiply evenly. 3 tails are not 3 times stronger than 1. Hana frowns. It's not. Dragon nods. More like each tail multiplies to 10 times what the last one is. The exception being the Hachibi and Kyubi, who are close in power to each other. About 20% if I am right. In all likelihood the 3 tails is about 30 times stronger than Shukaku. Of course, I don't think you need to worry, as Naruto's strength has grown 100 times from then at least. It's not a sure thing, but he'll survive, I think. Mei nods. That sounds right. I could fight on even ground with Yagura as long as he doesn't release his beast completely. And he is capable of that. 3 days later, Naruto is sitting in his cabin at a table with a freshly brewed cup of tea when the door opens. Hello, Lord Yagura. Tea. Yagura smiles in amusement. I would, thank you. Taking sip from his cup, he raises an eyebrow. This is good. You would be surprised what you can grow with wood style. Yagura smirks into his cup. This cabin, for example. I noticed it's suppressing Isabu. Why is it not affecting your own beast though? I know wood style is indiscriminate that way, and I know you have one. Naruto nods. I had the 9, but it reverted into the Shinju a couple years ago. It's not affected. Yagura nods. That explains your wood style. Might I ask who your parents are? Naruto looks down sadly. I suppose it wouldn't hurt to tell you. Regardless of how this ends, the information won't matter. My mother was Kushina Uzumaki. Yagura raises an eyebrow in surprise. The red-hot bloody habanero. Based on your hair and features, I would guess that means your father was Minato Namikaze. Naruto nods. That explains why the Hokage is so protective of your identity even after your exile. She's my godmother. Tell me why you came here and why participate in this war. I have a few reasons. You are actually one of them. Oh, you may not notice or remember, but you did not always hate bloodlines. Can you remember why you started the bloodline purge? Yagura's eyes widen a moment and then blank. No, I can't. I try, but every time my mind blanks. When I push too hard on the memory, I black out and people die around me. I consulted doctors, but they can't find anything wrong. Naruto nods. Only a few in the wood could, and only if they knew what to look for. Looking him in the eye. Tell me, you can still control Isabu, but does he speak to you anymore? Do you remember exactly when this started? Yagura shakes his head. Isabu is never much of a speaker, but no. And the last thing I remember before this started is a man in an orange mask with a single hole for an eye. Do you know what is wrong with me? He nods. A genjutsu. Placed simultaneously on you and Isabu. Only one clan is capable of it. Uchiha. Seems the man responsible for my mother's death and Kyuubi's attack on Konoha is responsible for the bloodline purge. Can it be broken? I know some Sharingan genjutsu are impossible. Naruto nods. It can, but it's risky. See, genjutsu don't usually work on Jinchuriki because the Biju hate to be controlled and break them. It takes skill to do it. To break this one is simple. I just need to free Isabu from it first so he can release you. Yagura smirks. Hence the suppression of his chakra. If the jutsu is based in him, then he would stop us talking under the jutsu's command. Sadly, it also means he must be released to break it. Are you certain you are up to the task? I won't say it will be easy, but I can do it. The issue is what happens after. There will be many who blame you regardless of the reasons. Best case, you step down as Mizukage. Worst case, a public execution, though I expect Mei will prevent that. Especially once I tell her about the Akatsuki. Yagura perks up at that. That name is familiar. But why? Kisame is a member. They are taking the Biju from their Jinchuriki. Yagura nods. Ah yes, Kisame. He disappeared about the time this all started. So how are we going to do this? Putting his cup down. As I said, Biju hate to be controlled. Isabu might be under genjutsu, but from his perspective I am suppressing him. As soon as that stops, he will force his way out to kill me. Let him out, but try to hold him back if you can. It will make it easier to break the jutsu. Before we do that, can I ask your other reasons? I admit I am curious. Naruto nods and explains the need to get stronger before Shinju is released. I see. So, you are on the clock, so to speak. Very well then, let's not waste your time then. As they walk together through the woods, Yagura stops in pain. Seems you were right. Isabu is quite upset with you. He sucks to be you. Good luck. Naruto steps back and Yagura transforms into a giant three-tailed tortoise. Isabu lets go a roar that can be heard throughout Kiri. Naruto remains unaffected. One-tail Naruto. This is your challenge, so it's all I will allow. I hope it doesn't come to that, but thank you. Isabu, remember yourself. You are being controlled. Break it. RGGGG. Naruto shakes his head. The hard way it is. Sorry for the pain to come, my friend. Isabu spins around, slashing the trees nearby with his tails, clearing the area. Naruto jumps into the air using a shadow clone to toss him higher. Isabu looks around for his foe and, having lost him, moves towards the ocean intending to leave, but Naruto slams a Rasengan into his back. It causes no visible damage, but the beast roars in pain and tossed him off. Naruto recovers quickly using Woodstyle to lift and contain the beast before using Doton to hurl a boulder at it, knocking it into the ocean. Isabu is dazed and in pain a moment before setting its eye back on its foe. It begins charging a black orb of chakra in its maw. Isabu swallows it and unleashes a beam of destructive energy. My advice: don't get hit by that. Shinju, I love that you developed a sense of humor, but now is hardly the time. Haha. Shaking his head, Naruto narrowly dodges the beam and charges Isabu. As soon as he hits the water, he starts going through hand signs for a water jutsu of the Uzumaki clan. Uzumaki style, Maelstrom. Under Isabu a whirlpool forms, trapping it, and it is caught up in an uncontrollable spin. An achievement in itself, but Naruto is not done. Once more creating a clone to toss him at the beast, Naruto creates a Rasengan many times as large as he is. Rasengan bomb. He slams the enlarged orb into Isabu's face, causing a large explosion, hurting it rather badly. The explosion is so large it can be heard and felt all over Kiri and even in a zoo. In a zoo, Ino falls on her butt grunting. What the hell was that? Shikamaru groans. What do you think, Ino? A troublesome blonde, of course. Naruto went overboard again. Ino blinks. You think so? But he's all the way in Kiri. To make a quake like that, he would have to use a jutsu capable of destroying a village in one hit. Shikamaru chuckles. Can you think of anybody else that destructive or reckless? Don't forget what he has in him. Ino smirks. Wow. To think our knucklehead can do that. With the rebels. The camp is in a panic. Mei is frowning. Damn, what was that? Anko grins. He finished it, huh? Zabuza growls. Finished what? Hana shakes her head. Many don't know this, but the Rasengan is not only an incomplete jutsu, but it's also versatile. Naruto told me he has set himself 2 challenges before he learns the Hiraishin. First, to make his own variation on the Rasengan like Jiraiya before him, and to add an element to the basic Rasengan. He has obviously finished the former. Rasengan Bomb. If a perfectly formed Rasengan can kill in one shot, this variation can kill a village in one hit. Only he and maybe one or two other people have the chakra to perform it. Mei's eyes widen and Zabuza chuckles. If Yagura survives something like that, he won't be fit to fight for a while, even if in a fully transformed state. 2 days later, a temporary truce is ordered among both rebel and loyalist armies until the results of the battle are determined. All commanders of both are heading towards the site of the fight in peace. They arrive to a curious sight. A badly injured Yagura is sitting and drinking tea with a half-naked Naruto on the shore of the ocean with a large and newly formed tidal pool behind them. Both of them laughing like old friends. Mei walks up to them with a quirked eyebrow. Might I ask what is going on? Yagura smiles at Mei. It is good to see you again, Mei. Your friend and I were just discussing a few of his pranks over a cup of tea. Mei shakes her head. I meant, why are you two not fighting? His eyes widen. Oh, that. Yes, I'm sorry about this past 20 years. I'm afraid I was under the influence of a genjutsu. Mei nods, accepting this. We suspected as much but had no idea how to fix it. A man from behind yells in rage. Genjutsu or not, you expect us to just forgive you? Yagura shakes his head. Not at all. I have lost the trust of my people, so I will step down as Mizukage and name Mei as my successor. She can decide my fate. Mei nods and the people mostly accept that, though some only grudgingly. If I might ask, how did you break the genjutsu and what is that formation out there? I am pretty sure it wasn't there a week ago. Naruto nods. As you know, genjutsu are hard to cast on a jinchuriki because the biju tend to break them, so to do it you must cast 2 at the same time. One on beast and one on host. In this case the beast contained the command for the jutsu to maintain it. Yagura's memory was locked by the jutsu, so any attempt to remember why he was doing what he was doing would either cause pain or blackout and release Isabu to destroy all around him. To break a genjutsu you must either force the foreign chakra out of the victim's system or cause enough pain to override it. Some genjutsu, such as those caused by a Sharingan, can only be broken the second way. You likely felt me method of doing that. Zabuza laughs. Kid, I think the mainland felt that. Yagura chuckles and Naruto blushes a little. My control isn't perfect on that jutsu yet, so I kind overpowered it a bit. Isabu says it's his first time experiencing shellshock. He also thanks you, by the way. Mei frowns. Sharingan, huh? Is Konoha responsible? Naruto shakes his head. No. Yagura remembers a man in an orange spiral mask with one eye. That fits the description of the man who controlled the Kyuubi on the day of my birth and is responsible for my mother's death. Mei's eyes widen, then looks at Naruto with sympathy. Sorry. Don't be. You didn't know. As for Yagura, I believe we will put you under guard until we can determine for certain if you are at risk of falling under control again. Naruto and Yagura nod. I would suggest in a place only you and a select few know of under heavy guard. Why's that? Yagura nods. Akatsuki. Yeah, a group of 9 S-class missing nin who are hunting the biju to reform the Juubi. They have no idea they are being manipulated, and I doubt they will listen to reason. Known members include Kisame Hoshigaki and Itachi Uchiha. Though given recent events in Konoha, I would question Itachi's loyalty to the group. Just between us. Mei nods. I see. Well, first thing is first, we should head to Kiri to make everything official, then we can talk and share intelligence. After that, I believe a celebration is in order before we begin rebuilding. Yagura smiles and Naruto nods. Word spread throughout the nations quickly following their return to Kiri of the end of the war and the hero who made it happen. Naruto also discovered a new horror in life he had only seen from the other side. Fangirls. For him there was no celebration but rather a week-long game of hide, seek and run for your fucking life. Even Shinju had come to fear the common fangirl. If Kaguya was a fangirl, she would have destroyed this world with her power. Before this day I have never felt true fear. I pity you, Naruto. I know the secret to beating the bane of all Kage, and I have faced 2 biju, but even I would fear the horror of fangirls. Write that down. That sounded good. Might be useful in your book. Naruto pauses mid-step and slaps his face. Damn, I am stupid. Shadow clones, of course. Naruto creates 100 clones and has them scatter, taking positions around town to keep the fangirls busy. Fear makes even a genius falter. Fall to the power of the fangirl. Oh, can I use that? That was great. Shinju feels a slight pride and agrees. I think I finally understand how Jiraiya feels when writing his books. I just hope I don't start giggling like a pervert. There are worse things than a pervert. Hey, yeah, like a super pervert. But I get what you mean. I don't think those things bear mentioning though. Like fanboys. Hey, I want to rest in peace when I die, not in eternal torment. Don't paint such images in my mind. Hey, sorry. Zabuza sees Naruto and smirks. Escape those fangirls, I see. Naruto sighs in relief. Yeah. Oh, how's Ribi? Well, she's a model student. You were right, she has a real talent for Sutan. At this rate her control will be better than mine this time next year and she can go to a zoo happy. She told me that was her goal. Disturbingly honest that one. Naruto nods. She's a good person at heart. Zabuza frowns. So, when you leaving? Soon. With the end of the war my goals here are complete until I take control in a zoo. He nods. Haku will be sad to see you leave. You know how she feels for you. He nods. We've talked about it. I don't feel the same. I'm not against an open relationship if the wife I choose agrees and Haku really wants something between us, but Haku is my friend and nothing more for now. Zabuza nods. Not happy about that, but at least you're giving her options and not breaking her heart. Anyway, Mei said she wants to see you. Naruto nods and goes to the Mizukage Tower. Naruto, I have a mission request for you. Naruto raises an eyebrow. Huh, that was fast. Mei nods. They originally contacted Konoha for Kakashi, but he told the Hokage to send it to you thinking it might help you. How's that? Well, we gave you our scrolls on the Yuki Jutsu at Haku's request, but originally her clan came from Snow Country. The client is a movie director for the Princess Gale movies to protect their actress on a film trip to Snow Country. Might help you with your ice jutsu to go there. Naruto nods. Yuki Fujika's. She's popular in Konoha. I saw her first movie. Good story, but I think the effects needed work. Well, it won't hurt to speak to him at least. Mei nods. He's in town now shooting a few scenes. Named Sandao. Naruto nods and walks out to meet him. Thanks, Mei. If all goes well, I'll see you again in about 4 years. Mei smiles. A time to celebrate a new leader in a zoo. I look forward to the party. Naruto grins and leaves. 30 seconds later Mei laughs hearing Naruto yelling in fear. Fucking fangirls found me again. An hour later Naruto and his team were meeting with Sandao, who's in a panic. Find her. Something wrong, Sandao. Are you this Baradasupiraru I've heard of? He nods. Good. My lead actress has run off. Seems she's against going to Snow, but I'm on contract. Naruto frowns. I haven't agreed to take the job just yet, but I can help find her. Hana, I suppose you wouldn't be able to sense here since you never met her. Sandao, do you have anything with a scent on it? Oh yes, the tiara she wore this morning, will that do? Hana nods and takes it. Showing it to the triplets, they take a sniff and immediately walk off down the street. 15 minutes later they stop outside a seedy-looking bar and Naruto frowns. Let me take care of this. He enters and walks up to the bar sitting beside a decidedly drunk woman. Hey cutie. Share a drink. Sure. Least I can do for Princess Gale. PFFT, that old fool Sandao sent you, did he? He shrugs. Hired me as a bodyguard for your next shoot. Haven't decided whether to take it or not. I advise not. You'll only die. Many have tried. I was thinking not anyway until I felt the chakra in this room. Tell me, why would Ice Ninja take an interest in an actress? Yuki's eyes widen. Don't panic. Their objective appears to be observation for now. But I'm guessing Kakashi sending me this job, and all this means you are more than you appear. Life there was hell for me, and going back will mean my death. I refuse. I know all about hell. PFFT, what would you know? My own village tried to kill me for the first 8 years of my life. I lived on the street from age 4 and ate garbage to survive. When they failed, they tried to sabotage my education. When I grew too powerful, they had me exiled. Bullshit. No child could survive that alone. Really. I know a boy whose own father tried 5 times to have him killed. He's now Kazekage. I survived for 2 reasons. What is sealed within me and my will to win their acceptance. Over time that will broke, and I became cold. Stopped smiling. Stopped trying to make friends. What happened? You sound plenty cold, but not like you are describing. Naruto chuckles. You could say I found God, but more accurate to say a demon change into one and helped me realize I was wrong. You might not believe that, but then you don't know the origin of the biju, so I can't blame you. My point is this. Whatever you are hiding from has found you, and regardless of if you go to snow, it will find you. Your chances are better with me and my team. Your choice. I'll be outside. Naruto gets up to leave and Yuki frowns considering his words. 2 minutes later she downs her glass and walks out to meet him. Fine, but I still say we all die there. Next day they were all on a ship to snow country. Waking up with a hangover, our actress finds a glass of water and painkiller on her bedside table. Taking it and walking outside, she sees Naruto shirtless in the ice-cold temperatures meditating on the prow of the ship. Seeing a man in a tiger mask, she asks, "What's he doing?" "He's going to freeze to death. He's speaking to the Shinju." "Wait, he was serious about that?" Tiger nods. Aradasupiraru rarely lies. The term for people like him is Jinchuriki. They usually have higher body temperatures than the rest of us and never get sick unless the demon, or in this case God, allows it. He could drink the strongest stuff in the world all day and never get tipsy. Ninja are weird. Anko laughs. Girlie, you got no idea. Within the mindscape. So how am I progressing? As you get stronger your body will change. The first has begun already. Slowly your hair is turning red like your mother's. Next will be your teeth. Less sharp. Then your body musculature will grow denser. Then your bones. Finally, your whisker marks will fade, though not completely. And last of all you will unlock the Shinjugen. The God Tree's Eye. How close am I to mastering the elements? There are 3 stages to each. Konoha regards second stage in all but fire to be mastery. Sooner the same but with wind and so on and so forth. In Suton, Doton, Futon and Raton you are at stage 2. In Kaiten you get a stage 1 inherited from Kurama. The secret to mastering each element can be found in their respective country with the exception of Suton, which was only mastered by the second Hokage. Lucky for you I can help with that once your chakra coils grow a little more. Likely soon after this mission. Fire mastery though can be done as soon as you return to the mainland. Tiger can help you with stage 2 until then. Naruto opens his eyes to see a glacier ahead and Sandayu is yelling about shooting a scene. Tiger eyes up. We aren't alone on this glacier. He nods understanding and relays the message to the others. What's it like having a god in your head? Not as bad as you might think. He doesn't quite understand humans, but he gives good advice and helps with my training. Though he's developed a sense of humor unfortunately. Unfortunately. He's funny but he has bad timing for it. Priorities aren't huge to somebody without age. She nods. Your friends from the bar are on this glacier. Stick close to my team if anything happens. After a productive morning of filming, the crew is about to pack up when a hill on the glacier explodes and 3 figures rise out of it moving at high speed towards them. Naruto intercepts and punches the leader in the face, shocking them. Surrender the princess, punk, or die. Naruto looks at him coldly, making him shiver. So, she's a princess pretending to be an actor pretending to be a princess. Ironic. Who wants her? She's a threat to the rightful ruler of this land, Doto Kazehana. Naruto nods. One last question and do try to get this right. She's protected by 3 Anbu, 2x Anbu and a high Chunin. Even if you did take me down, what makes you think you could get past them? The pink-haired woman answers with a smirk. We're wearing the latest chakra armor, brat. Jutsu are worthless on us. So, you are saying a strong ninja only has to have strong jutsu? That's you answer. The man with a metal arm laughs. No, we are saying no matter how strong your jutsu are, they are useless against us. Naruto smiles and the leader Nader shivers. Something is not right about this kid. I know I seen him before. But where? Care to test your theory? The man rears back his metal arm to throw it at him only to miss as Naruto dodges and closes the distance in the blink of an eye and smashes a Rasengan into his armor. It looks like it will hold for a moment, causing the man to smirk until they all hear a crack and panic. Naruto smashes through the armor and man all in one blow, causing a rain of blood in the snow. Mizore. Fubuki, retreat now. Both remaining ninja leave in a hurry as Naruto walks back to the ship covered in blood. The director mutters to the cameraman. Tell me you got that. The cameraman smirks. Yup. As he passes Yuki he smiles. So, a princess, huh? This just got more interesting. As they board the ship Naruto speaks to Sandayu and Yuki. So, what's the real story here? Sandayu sighs and tells Naruto about the princess and her escape from her uncle after her father's murder with the help of Kakashi. He also tells him about the plan to inspire the people to rise up against Doto so Kiyuki Kazehana can reclaim her throne. I don't want that. My father always spoke of the coming spring, but it's always winter here. Always cold as ice. I have no interest in ruling this country. I would never be a good ruler anyway. I only play a princess. Naruto shrugs. Like being a parent, nobody can really teach or tell you how to rule well. You just have to act the part and try your best. Nobody said you had to rule without help though. That's what advisors are for. Face facts here. You may not like this place and feel you are not the right person to rule, but your people need you. Doto is a tyrant and a nasty one at that. Consider that as bad as you might be, you couldn't be worse than him. You act the part of a princess. So then do that. Nobody's perfect and everybody makes mistakes. So own M and fix M. That's how you will rule. Naruto walks away and Kiyuki frowns in thought. Hana smiles. That's the second time I've seen him act like a leader in that way. Kid's gonna do Azu proud. Azu. Mouse nods. Azushiogaku. The island nation of the Uzumaki clan that fell at the start of the Third Ninja War. He's rebuilding it and gathering the remnants of the clan. He will rule them in a few years when he is strong enough, and I suspect he will rule well. Like a king. Tiger shakes his head. Closed but more like a cage. He doesn't know when to give up, does he? Hana chuckles. My brother once told me something about him. Said he doesn't give up or go back on his word. That's his nindo. His ninja way. Kiyuki smile a little at that as she watches him. Then she frowns. Does he dye his hair? Anko looks at her funny. No, why? His hair is slowly turning red. I didn't notice until now, but there are more red streaks in it than when we first met. Dragon nods. So, there is. I'll ask him later about that. A few days later, Kiyuki had gone missing again after another shoot. Anko was laughing. Well, if she ever quits being an actor or princess, she might make a good ninja. Naruto shakes his head and leaves in the direction he can sense her chakra in. It didn't take long to find her. So why are you running this time? I told you I don't want to do this. Naruto shakes his head. I'll make you a deal. I kill Doto and then you can decide. You speak of killing so easily. Doesn't it bother you? I kill who I must. I try to save those who deserve it. Yes, it bothers me, but I don't lose any sleep over them because I know I have done what I can to make most people's lives better by killing monsters. As a ninja, killing is always going to be a part of my life. Do you remember your first kill? He nods. Everybody does, even if they try to forget. For me, it was an accident. A drunk villager tried to kill me on my birthday. It was one of my better ones because I managed to avoid the mobs. He came at me with a knife and I ducked. He tripped over my prone body and collided with a wall, and the knife slipped between his ribs. He was dead in seconds. It wasn't the first time the villagers complained to the Hokage calling for my death, but it was the first time I was brought before the village council. Even after all their trying, though, the evidence was against the drunk, so they were forced to let me go. I was 6, if you were wondering. My second kill was more deliberate. My first C-rank mission, we were attacked by 2 Chunin missing nin. I killed one and the other was killed after giving us information. The demon brothers Meizu and Gozu. A child so young should not be forced to kill. Naruto shrugs. Who was forced? I chose the life of a ninja. It was that or live with the village's hatred my entire short life and have no way to defend myself. Besides, for the most part, genin don't even get to see death until they are older unless the village is at war. Kiyuki frowns. Sandayu said you were a war hero. Yet you don't belong to a village, and your friends said you were going to rule a village you were rebuilding. Naruto nods. I need to get stronger. My seal was designed for the 9 tails and Shinju is a lot stronger. It can't contain him even though he is not trying to break it. When it does break, he has 2 choices. Without his body he will fade outside the seal, but he has chosen to pass on his knowledge and power to me. The problem is it will kill me if I am not strong enough, and if the seal breaks before then I will die. It's long been proven that war creates the strongest ninja. The first and second Hokages and the Sannin are proof of that. So, I helped the rebels in Kiri win their war. I had other reasons as well which were more personal, but that's not important right now. I see. And your hair. I know it was blonde when we left, but it's changing. Yeah, as I get stronger some things will change. My hair is the first. My fangs will recede, and my whiskers will fade a little. My muscles will become dense, then my bones. Last of all, my eyes. Your eyes. That's a shame. Cold as they are, they're beautiful. Naruto smiles. Thanks. They won't change as such, but rather I will unlock a dojutsu. Shinju says unlike some of its brother bloodlines, it can be turned off just the same as the Sharingan, so it won't be an issue. Well, we should get back. I'm sure Sandao is worried. As they walk back through the tunnel, Kyuki frowns. Do you hear something? Naruto kneels and moves aside the snow, finding a metal rail with chakra flowing through. I hate the technology in this country. Picking Kyuki up, he runs as fast as he can. Even as they reach the end of the tunnel and throw themselves to the side, it's a close thing as a train screeches to a stop right behind them. The side panels of the train open up to reveal Doto. Kyuki, so wonderful to see you. You have grown beautiful. Please come closer so I can get a better look. Sandao and many samurai reveal themselves from behind a bluff, and he yells at Doto. I have waited many years to avenge my lord. I am Sandao of the 2nd Legion, and I charge you with treason. Doto looks bored. I thought you got rid of all these rebels, Nader. Me too. I will rectify that. Raising a hand, the side of the train opens up to reveal a wall of kunai launchers. Fire. Thousands of kunai arch into the air at the rebels who are charging down the slope. It would have been a slaughter if a wooden wall had not risen out of the snow to stop most of them. Damn. Some got through. Releasing the wall, he then smashes the train with a Doton pillar. In the destruction, Naruto had missed Fubuki swooping down on her wings and snatching the princess before retreating to a blimp which had detached from the train and was out of his range. Tiger grunts. This makes things more complicated. Naruto shakes his head, watching the blimp get further away. No, it doesn't. Dragon looks at Naruto. How so? Naruto grins and they shiver. Now I don't have to look for Doto. Looking at him, he grows cold again. Remain with the crew and provide medical and protection until I give word. I'm going after the princess. Sandao, who has been listening, frowns. Even a ninja would have trouble keeping up with an airship. Naruto drops his weights, cracking the ground and causing him to fall. Looking at Tiger, he nods and takes off at a jog before breaking into a run and flashing out of sight. Hana shakes her head. I never noticed the weights. When he finally learns Hiraishin, he's going to be more feared than his father. Anko laughs. Keeps going the way he is, and he won't need to learn it at all. 2 hours later, the airship is in sight once more and Doto is rather angry. Fubuki hold him off. Saluting, she takes off after Naruto. Naruto intends to ignore her until she begins dropping ice bombs. The ground around him cracks and icicles rise from the explosives attempting to skewer him. Naruto dodges them easily, frustrating her. Gah, stand still, bastard. You remind me of a friend of mine. Sakura Haruno. Any relation? Fubuki frowns. Haruno, my family used to be named Haruno before we left the land of fire. Might be a distant cousin. Why? Still trying to bomb him? Naruto frowns. I have unresolved issues with her. Care to help me with that? Blinking in surprise, she pauses. Look, you're cute and all, but I kinda gotta kill you. Naruto grins. I think you misunderstand. It's not love but anger. Doton, hammer. A giant stone warhammer grows from the ground and Naruto tosses it into the air right past Fubuki. She grins and turns to him. Missed. She then frowns as she notices he's once again going through hand signs. Reitan, Mjolnir. A bolt of lightning arcs past here and once again she is confused. Do you have lousy aim or something? You really should keep your eye on the still moving object. What goes up must come down. Her eyes widen before she is driven into the ground by the electrified falling hammer. Barely alive, she looks at Naruto. How? Your armor can absorb chakra and maybe even elements, but enough physical damage and any armor will break. Doton is perfect for that. Reitan just gave it that extra hit. Ice style, Wolf Fang Avalanche. Naruto turns to a mountain nearby which has erupted into an avalanche with white snow wolves at its head. He takes a moment to think of a response and smirks. Going through hand signs, he slams his hands into the ground and suddenly a wall of roots and new trees erupts from the ground, stopping the avalanche, causing Nader to frown. Wood-style secret technique, nativity of a world of trees. Feel honored. It's a jutsu not seen since the first Hokage. Whipping his head around, the last thing he sees is his own body as it falls to the ground dead. Naruto had beheaded him. Walking back to Fubuki, he pauses to look down at her. You will survive your wounds. Then you have a choice. Serve the princess or move to Konoha to find your family. I don't care which, but I am done with you. Fubuki chuckles with a mouthful of blood. Issues resolved. Boy, wish I knew what she did to you to make you that angry. Naruto smiles and nods. Let's just say I once had feelings for her, and she responded in the worst way a girl can, and leave it at that. Naruto walks away, leaving her to puzzle over that. Finally arriving at the location of the airship, Naruto walks towards Doto, who hasn't noticed him yet. Finally, the Kazehana treasure is mine. Inserting a crystal Naruto had seen on Kyuki into a machine, it lights up and the ice cracks. A number of tower-sized pillars rise out of the ice all around the mountains around them. A heat engine. Where's the money? A hologram appears above the lock. Kyuki, my daughter. If you are seeing this, then I have died before I could realize my dream. I am sorry. I once told you I wanted to bring spring to this frozen land. This chakra engine is the culmination of all my years' research to achieve that. Rule well, my daughter, and pursue your dreams with all your heart. Another hologram of a younger man and Kyuki as a child appears. So what kind of princess would you like to be, my little snowflake? I'm good. And kind, but always fair. But I have another dream. Oh, and what's that? I want to be an actress. Kyuki is smiling with tears in her eyes. I had forgotten about that. Doto is ranting and raving about stupid brothers and killing everybody and invading other countries as Naruto makes himself known. You know, you never did ask my name. You might have just given up if you did. Sneering at him, Doto spits at Naruto. And what's your name? Naruto smiles. Baradasupiraru. Doto frowns. Why does that sound familiar? Think Kiri. Doto frowns further before his eyes widen, but before he can open his mouth, Naruto has buried his fist into Doto's gut and cracked his armor. How much can I handle? 3 tails. Almost 4. Good, hit me. I want to finish this fast. Nobody had noticed the film crew had arrived soon after Naruto had started speaking and were filming everything. I see your reputation is well earned. That was quite a punch. Naruto ignores him. Princess, please move towards the airship. I am going to finish this now and it will be messy. She nods and runs. Doto is already going through hand signs for his best jutsu. Ice style, twin black dragon blizzard. 2 black dragons made of ice rose up and chilled the air around them, causing a blizzard to form, and then charged at Naruto. Mere inches before they hit him, an explosion of pure power erupted from him, shattering the dragons and the ice around him, causing the eyes of everybody nearby to widen. His shirt shredded by the remains of the ice, he stands perfectly still as 3 tails form behind him and he grows a full 3 feet in height. In what could only be described as the voice of God, Naruto chuckled. You really should have run when you had the chance. Naruto takes 3 steps and before he can land a 4th, he silently disappears from everybody's sight until they look at Doto. Above him is Naruto with a fully formed Rasengan in his hand, which seems to be swirling with all the colors of the rainbow. Naruto slams it into the man and the ground shatters in an explosion of earth and ice. When the dust clears, Naruto is seen standing over a bloody smear on the ground with the head of Doto left untouched with an expression of horror. The director is grinning ear to ear. You can't buy special effects like that. This movie is going to be the best yet. The cameraman nods. Then grins when Kyuki jumps into Naruto's arms and kisses him full on the lips. Wow. I'm not sure what to say. Kyuki smirks. Oh, don't be so dramatic. It was just a thank you. Naruto grins. You're welcome. You're not going to ask me on a date, or anything, are you? Kyuki quirks an eyebrow. I wouldn't mind. You are cute after all. But I don't think I am right for you. Naruto smiles. Oh good. I have no idea why, but every time I save or help a girl, they seem to ask me out or something. Kyuki giggles. You're a little innocent, aren't you? Naruto pouts. Not sure what you mean. Shaking her head, Kyuki smiles. The next 3 years were eventful to say the least. Naruto gained a reputation as an SS-class ninja. The first ever. Iwa, Kumo and all nations called him for missions they needed done, as Naruto never failed. One by one his teachers and teammates moved to Azu and now he was alone. He completed his training a month ago and was heading to an uninhabited island, so the transformation caused no damage. As he reached the island center, he sighed. Well, this is it. I wish you could stay with me. Oh, you never know, Naruto. Someday I may come back. But for now, the seal is about to break, and if I am to give you my gift, it must be now. I must say you have impressed me. You finished your training earlier than expected. A shame I failed to save all the Jinchuriki though. Half of them dead. You were not called, so you could not have known. Do not dwell. Only one thing remains before you return to rule Azu as you should. Yeah, I need to hunt down the rest of Akatsuki. 4 down, and Itachi and Kisame live in Konoha now. That leaves the leaders. Not to mention Orochimaru and his marks. Remember, when you fight him you can take the information on removal from his mind using the Shinjugen. It does not have the limitations of the other Dujutsu. With my power there will be nothing left to challenge you. Peacekeeper or Conqueror, the choice is yours. As Naruto walked, suddenly power erupted around him and the light of the sky faded. Lightning could be seen. The elements tore at the island and slowly Naruto rose into the air, glowing brighter than the sun. It was a display of power felt throughout the nations, but it didn't feel scary or sinister, but rather calm and peaceful. Later Jiraiya was heard to describe it as feeling just like when one was in tune with nature or in sage mode. Few knew what this was, but all could feel it and turn to the direction it came from. Those who knew smiled as they knew the world was about to change. As Naruto drifted to the ground, little had changed physically. He had grown a foot taller. Standing at 6 foot 4 inches. Built like a swimmer or runner, he was slim but well muscled. No, the most noticeable thing was his hair and body glowed with power. As he touched the ground, he opened his eyes and all around him the island erupted with new life. He was no longer Naruto Uzumaki or Baradasupiraru. He was Naruto Shinju, god of nature. Naruto shed a single tear. Goodbye, my brother. Lord Pain, what was that? Pain was frozen in fear. The power he felt was calm, but it held more power than anything. More than him. I don't know, Conan, but I fear it is the end of our plans. He turns to face her. Whatever happens, remember our agreement. My eyes must not fall into the wrong hands and you must live your life happy. This all ends with me. Shedding a single tear, she nods. In a cave in the north of the land of sound, a masked man in Akatsuki robes and a man who looks like a Venus flytrap are both wide-eyed. Zetsu, what was that? Zetsu is quaking. It can't be. It was absorbed into Kaguya's will. Shinju is dead. How is this possible? Madara frowns. This is a problem. At the gates of Konoha, Fubuki feels the power and remembers the boy from 3 years ago who gave her a second chance. She had served faithfully and finally she was seeking out her family. Tsunade and Shizune are in the Hokage's office with Sakura sharing a cup of sake. So, the day has finally come, Lady Tsunade. Grinning like her surrogate grandson, Tsunade laughs. Yes, Sakura, I believe it has. Shizune blushes. Do you think he will come here soon? I've heard rumors that he's grown quite handsome. Sakura frowns. Why would he come here? I mean, I know Lady Tsunade had the banishment repealed, but I don't see a reason. Tsunade smirks. I can think of one or two, but honestly I don't know. In the land of demons, the priestess Shion is smiling. So, you did it, Naruto. I do hope whoever you choose allows us to be together. Iniwa. So, the brat did it. I knew he was hiding something powerful. Kurosuchi smirks. Too bad he's not interested in a political marriage. He was cute. Onoki nods. I'm just glad I listened to my instincts and left the hatred of his father alone and opted not to piss him off. Lord help anybody who does. In Kumo. Asa the kid did it. I guess it's almost time to seek an alliance. B dances. The boy with the hot bod has now become a god. A friend to him Kumo is to become, and some we might finally get some. Shut up Bor, face the iron claw. Yugito is smirking. To be fair to Bisam, we does need to get some. She's way too uptight. In a zoo there is a celebration going on. Over the last 3 years Naruto had found far more Uzumaki than he ever hoped for, and they were all happy about his ascension because it meant Uzushigaku was finally going to be complete once more. The clans were just happy Naruto was coming home. In Oto, Orochimaru was sweating. After he felt that surge of power. He called in all his best fighters to his main base to defend it, and yet he felt it would not be enough. If only he knew he was responsible for all this, he would be kicking himself. Gurren, lock down the base with your crystal maze until we can determine if that power is coming here. I do not wish to take any risks. Since Kabuto's death she had become his second in command and she was less happy than she thought she would feel. But she would obey, for now. Back with Naruto. So what first? I think that Snake has lived long enough. Naruto disappears in a golden flash and appears outside a giant crystal dome. Huh. Dad would be curious. Haracian without a seal. Looking up at the crystal dome he whistles in appreciation. Impressive crystal-style control. I wonder how he will react when I tell him. Smiling Naruto walks through the dome like it's not even there. 5 minutes of wandering the base. Naruto is scowling. So that's what happened to Root. Living experiments. Disgusting. With a wave of his hand all the Root Anbu are turned to dust and scatter to the wind. Moving on, it doesn't take him long to find Orochimaru. Standing in the darkness, Naruto grins and activates the Shinjugen. Think Rinne Sharingan but gold with electric blue Tomo. Orochimaru stiffens in the darkness as he sees those eyes. Who are you? What do you want? Your dream is to know all jutsu, right? To be truly immortal. How does it feel to know I have all but achieved that dream and you will die here? Growling in anger he shouts. Who are you? Naruto steps into the light. You look different, but I remember you. Naruto Uzumaki. The Kyuubi brat. How did you gain this power, boy? Naruto smirks. I really should thank you. That day in the Forest of Death you used 5-element seal on me to stop my access to his chakra, but in doing that you allowed a second much older consciousness to take hold in him. The Kyuubi changed into the Shinju. It took me 4.5 years to gain the strength to control that power, but now it's mine. A gift from an old god to a new one. Orochimaru smirks and uses his rebirth jutsu to attempt taking over Naruto's body, but he never considered the Shinju's true power. Waking up in his realm he sees something he doesn't expect. Naruto is on a golden throne smiling at him and he is bound to the floor and powerless. What? This is my own world created of my mind. How can this be? Exclamation mark quote. Naruto shakes his head. Shinju is the origin of chakra. Jutsu like this are useless on me. All you did is make this easier. Now with your mind trapped I can kill your body and remove all your marks without trouble, and then I can destroy your soul. Death is inevitable, Orochimaru, even for the immortal. Even gods die. You failed to realize that. Now face your death with honor. Naruto rips all Orochimaru's knowledge out of him and leaves his mind. Waking in the real world, Naruto smiles. Lord Orochimaru. Shaking his head, he looks at her. No, Gurren. He's dead. I'm sorry about Yukimaru. It seems Orochimaru put him in a cell with Jugo and he went psycho. He was curious to see if he could control him like the Three Tails. Gurren breaks down in tears. No. Naruto takes Orochimaru's head and places it in a scroll and then bends down to comfort Gurren. He promised if I served, he would let Yukimaru live. What can I live for now? Naruto looks her in the eyes and smiles kindly. Go to Azushigakure and start a new life. I intend it to be a place of new beginnings for those deserving. You have done many bad things, but you never let it corrupt you. Consider it a gift from Yukimaru. Shaking in his arms. A home. A family. Yeah, I can live with that. Thank you. Gurren gets up and leaves the base quietly. Next stop, Konoha. Time to clean up the old man's mess. Flashing away once more he arrives at Konoha's gates and walks in. A bored voice calls out. Name and business in Konoha. Naruto chuckles. What, don't recognize me, Kotetsu? Izumo. Looking up, their eyes widen slowly. Naruto. Is that you? Wow, you've changed. Izumo smirks. Oh, I think there will be some drooling girls in your future. Naruto stiffens. Please don't provoke the universe. I have enough fangirls. Naruto walks towards the Hokage Tower while the Eternal Chunins are laughing behind him. What are you doing here, demon? You were banished, remember? Naruto frowns. Oh, it's you, Mebuki. Yes, I remember. I also remember that 2 years ago Lady Tsunade had that repealed. I am not a citizen, but I am free to come and go. For the record, I was never a demon. It's irrelevant now anyway since what was sealed within me is gone now. Tell me, did Fubuki ever come visit? Mebuki looks away and seems tired. She did. She and Sakura have become good friends, but she never forgave me for what I did to you. Naruto nods. If I might offer some advice. Mebuki looks at him. Sakura is stubborn. Once she has an idea in her head, it's difficult to get past that. But it's the effort that counts. Forget me. When you speak of me, ignore the hatred and stay neutral. I think as long as you don't show hatred then she might at least give you a chance. Mebuki nods and walks away. I'll take it under advisement. Walking up the stairs slowly he meets Konohamaru in the hallway. Hey brat. How's that jutsu coming? Looking at him Konohamaru's eyes bug. Naruto. He rushes Naruto and hugs him for all he's worth. Well you look strong Kono. Hey you know it boss. I mastered the Rasengan. I even made it better. He nods. Good. I'll meet you in training field 7 in a few and you can show me. As Naruto approaches the secretary's desk, he sees another familiar face. Mogi. You've grown. She looks at Naruto and grins. Naruto. Yeah I filled out nice huh. Naruto smirks. So, how's that crush on Kono going? She blushes and scratches her ear sheepishly. We're dating now. I'm happy for you. Is the Hokage in? Mogi nods. With Sakura and Shizune. They've been drinking. Celebrating something but I don't know what. He nods and opens the door. Silencing Tsunade with a look he sneaks up on Sakura and Shizune. Well, having a party and you didn't invite me. I'm hurt. They whip around to see Naruto with a smirk on his face. Shizune blushes. And Naruto. Wow. Sniggering he shakes his head. I get that reaction a lot. Sakura grins. I'll bet. Finally understand Sasuke a little better. I heard about Kiri and the fangirls. I still have nightmares. The Shinju never knew true fear until he met the fangirls. Everybody laughs at that. So, brat what brings you back? Naruto tosses her a scroll containing Orochimaru's head and she smirks as she opens it. Then frowns slowly. I got some bad news for you kid. Jiraiya is dead. Went to Am a year ago and fought the leader of Akatsuki. Naruto nods. Lord Fukasaku told me. The debt will be settled soon though I hope his old student can be saved rather than just avenging the pervert. I won't be Sasuke. But before that I need one last thing in Konoha. Tsunade raises an eyebrow. Tell me, Sasuke, has he shown signs of regret for his actions? Is he a better person? Sakura smiles. He has. Even forgave his brother once he found out what happened. He's been getting help. Naruto smiles. Then I have a gift. I will remove Orochimaru's mark and heal him completely. He will have chakra again and he will be able to have children. However, he will be under oath to Konoha. Should he break it he will lose his life this time. Sakura hugs Naruto tightly which given her super strength would have killed anybody else. He careful with the hug Sakura you might hurt somebody. Sakura blushes and breaks the hug. Hey sorry. Tsunade shakes her head. I'll have an Anbu bring him and his brother. Naruto nods. In that case I will go see this Rasengan variation Kono has come up with. Naruto flashes to training field 7 and finds Konohamaru dancing from foot to foot. Ha settle down. You're gonna bounce through a wall if you keep that up. Kono grins. So, show me the basic Rasengan first. Konohamaru holds out his hand and a blue sphere of chakra appears. Nice. I didn't master it without shadow clones until just before I left, and I used hundreds of them to refine it. Now your variation. Konohamaru nods releasing the Rasengan and creating a clone to help him. He makes a Rasengan that seems the same as the first except smaller. However, when he hits a tree it seemingly fails. After a moment, the tree explodes. I don't know why that happens when I use clones for it though. Truth is I figured this one out first. Naruto nods. You are infusing it with Yang chakra. That turns it into a time-space jutsu which momentarily puts it out of phase with time. My guess is you have a high affinity for Yang release just as the old man did. Konohamaru frowns in thought. So, in a way it's an elemental Rasengan. Naruto nods. In a way. Wanna see one of mine? Konohamaru's eyes light up and Naruto chuckles. Picking a nearby tree as a target Naruto creates what appears to be a fireball in his hand but upon closer inspection you can see it's a Rasengan. Kaiten, Rasengan bullet. Thrusting his hand at the tree the Rasengan fires at its target and once hit the tree is instantly incinerated in a white towering flame. Once it dies down Kono looks at Naruto and closes his mouth. Naruto sweet drops. Whoops. Overcharged it again. Let me fix that. Slapping his hands to the ground a new tree sprouts where the old one was instantly as if nothing happened. They're much better. Anyway, you keep working on your skills Kono and I'm sure you will get to be Hokage soon enough. Naruto waves to him and flashes back to the Hokage's office. So, what did you think? He nods. Impressive. He's created a Yang release Rasengan completely on instinct. Tsunade raises her eyebrows. That is impressive. The old man used Yang release, but I haven't heard of a natural user since my grandfather. Naruto nods. As they are busy reminiscing about old times, Sasuke and Itachi are brought in and Sasuke freezes at the sight of Naruto. Hello Sasuke. How are you? Feeling weaker by the day. He looks down in regret. Sorry Naruto. Naruto waves it off. Water under the bridge. I have to say I'm not surprised you are feeling weaker day by day. Itachi raises an eyebrow. I thought he was being melodramatic. Naruto laughs. Itachi, you of all people should not throw that stone, but no. The reason is Orochimaru's mark. Had it been the base form then nothing would be an issue, but because his chakra is sealed the level 2 form is still trying to drain him. You might notice he has a larger appetite but no growth. Itachi nods. Well, I am here to tell you that you are getting a second chance Sasuke. I can heal you completely and remove that mark. The cost is loyalty to Konoha under pain of death. Sasuke's eyes widen and he looks at his brother who is smiling. When can you do it? Naruto grins. Right now. Getting up, Naruto walks over to Sasuke and places a hand on his head and one on his stomach before activating the Shinjugen and pulsing his chakra, jumpstarting Sasuke's and removing the block on it as well. Now for that ugly piece of work on your neck. Naruto frowns and looks at the mark before poking it with 2 fingers and pulsing his chakra once again. The mark begins to smoke and burn his skin, causing Sasuke to scream in pain. Gotcha. Sorry about that. My first time removing one and that bastard hooked it directly into your mind and chakra system and embedded a piece of his soul. It tried to retreat deeper into you, hence the burning. Panting on his knees, Sasuke looks back at Naruto. Is it gone? Naruto nods and Sasuke grins. So, brat, you sticking around for a bit? He shakes his head. Number 2 more stops then I can finally head home. Naruto scratches his head sheepishly. There's a party in a zoo in a weekend, my wedding. Would you be up for presiding, Granny? Tsunade blinks a few times and grins. So, who's the bride? Sumui of Kumo. Itachi smiles. Interesting choice. Naruto shrugs. What can I say? She's attractive, a strong woman, and she gets me. Tsunade grins wider. I'd love to, brat. Naruto spends some time talking and laughing with everybody before he has to leave. Tsunade, Sakura, Shizune, Sasuke and Itachi are all gathered at the gate to watch Naruto leave. See you soon, guys. He smirks over his shoulder and disappears in a flash to nobody knows where. He arrived in a city drenched in constant rain. He could of course keep from being detected, but I felt no need, so he enjoyed a leisurely walk through the rain. At the tower, an orange-haired man flinches. Conan the Nine Tails is here. Let him to me peacefully. She bows and flies out the window. 5 minutes Conan is staring at a truly attractive man. This is the Nine Tails Jinchuriki. He looks different than reported. Descending to earth, he takes notice of her. I was wondering when he would send somebody. Though I was enjoying the peace here. You've done a good job keeping your town free of your rage. Conan blinks and frowns. Lord Pain would like to see you. Please come peacefully. Naruto nods and much to her surprise levitates off the ground, much like Pain himself does. This raises questions. Naruto guesses her thoughts. Questions that will be answered soon. Let's not keep my cousin waiting. Naruto and Conan fly towards the tower in the middle of Am to meet Pain. As they land on the balcony, Naruto looks at the orange-haired man with disinterest. I came here to speak to my cousin, not the corpse puppet of his friend. Naruto looks to his left and up. Conan frowns and widens her eyes as a hatch opens in the corner of the room and Nagato lowers himself in. I apologize. Nagato looks at Naruto with curiosity. You call me cousin, but while your looks have changed, I was not aware of having any family. Naruto nods. I found out recently. Your mother and mine were sisters. Yours was out of a zoo, having already married outside the clan at the time. Mine left soon before the fall to become the Jinchuriki of Kurama. Kurama, the Kyuubi. He nods. You have done an admirable job of getting in my way. First the rebuilding of a zoo, then your disappearance and hiding the 3 tails. Now you come here of your own volition, not a day after I feel a frightening power in the north. This is no coincidence. Naruto smiles. Let me ask you. Your goal is the Juubi, but how can you accomplish that if the 9 tails no longer exists? Hasn't existed for nearly 5 years. Nagato's eyes widen. Impossible. Biju can't die. Naruto nods. True, but they can change. Consider that everybody assumes a Biju upon sealing or release slowly reclaims its excess chakra released during that process. But no, it goes to the strongest. Did you never question why Kurama was the strongest by far? Konan narrows her eyes. Nobody knows that. Only the sage could or the Biju themselves. Naruto nods. But they didn't. You see, when Kagura absorbed the Shinju, everybody assumed the god died and only the Juubi remained. But no, Kaguya's mind was locked in a golem of her own creation. Shinju's mind suppressed inside Kurama. Once enough of its chakra was regathered, all it required was the right events to allow him to take control. And during the Chunin exams 5 years ago it happened. Orochimaru used 5 elements seal to block me from Kurama's chakra, but also disrupted his mind a moment. More than enough time. Shinju was reborn. Nagato finishes. But being a physical being, if he was released unlike a Biju, he would dissipate and possibly never reform. He made a choice to make you his replacement, but you needed to be stronger to handle the power. You went on a journey under an alias and gathered allies, trained, gained a reputation. And when ready, the seal broke and Shinju was fully absorbed. Naruto bows in respect. A deduction truly worthy of one who calls himself a god. Naruto looks him in the eyes with his Shinjugen. I always suspected another form above the Rinnegan. Felt it there but was never able to take it. Something was missing. Naruto nods. The right mix of bloodlines and chakra could have unlocked it, but unless you had the Shinju you could never attain these eyes. Rather, you would have the eyes of Kaguya Otsutsuki. You have already met her will. Konan gasps. Who? I'll give you a clue. Only the mad god truly sees in only black and white. Nagato growls. Zetsu. Madara lied. Naruto nods. About many things. Including his name. Konan frowns. Who is he? Naruto shrugs. Don't know yet, only who he is not. Orochimaru had Madara's corpse, though he only died about 15 years ago. My guess is he intended to train this fake to carry out his plan, then use your eyes to revive and restore him to life. Konan snarls. That would kill him even if it was possible. Naruto looks at Nagato carefully and frowns. Not pretty, I know. But how could a god show himself to his people like this? Naruto nods. You used the outer path before you were ready, and it took its toll. Why didn't you cut off the flow? You would have healed eventually and been ready to try again sooner. Konan tilts her head and Nagato frowns. The Rinnegan cannot be turned off like other dojutsu. Naruto rolls his eyes. And who told you that shit? That only counts if you have them implanted, not awakened as you did. He looks down in shame. Most information on it came from Madara. Naruto nods. You know, I am the reincarnation of Indra, son of Hagoromo. When I awoke my new power, he spoke to me. He never intended his descendants to awaken those eyes unless the world was in danger of being destroyed by a calamity on the same level as his mother. He entrusted the eyes to his eldest Asura and locked their true power, thus creating the Sharingan. He named his youngest son Indra his heir and entrusted him with his knowledge. However, before the creation of Konoha, that was stolen by an Uchiha and enshrined in their district in Konoha. It could only be read by the varying stages of the Sharingan, with full knowledge only coming from the Rinnegan. All manipulated by Zetsu, of course. So, all hope of peace is lost then. You haven't been paying attention, have you? I am already working to create peace. And unlike you, I will live forever to maintain it. When I grow tired, I will sleep. When strife comes to a head once again, I will wake to act. I will be a god of peace. Then I have no use and should die for my crimes. Naruto shakes his head. You are no more guilty for your actions than Sasuke is. Everything you have done has been manipulated from day one. I am upset you killed Jiraiya, but there is nothing I can do about that. I can and will heal you. All I ask is you continue to lead well and Akatsuki dies. Well, that and the Gedo statue so I can release the Biju. Konan frowns. You can do that. Naruto nods. It's simpler than what I did to Sasuke. It's mostly muscle damage and chakra strain. Soon it could heal it herself given enough time and care. Then we agree. Right, Nagato? Nagato smiles lightly and nods. Naruto stands by Nagato and, like Sasuke, places a hand on his head and the other on his gut. This will feel a little weird. Naruto activates the Shinjugen and pushes his chakra into Nagato. The effects are almost immediate. The iron bars on his back recede. His skin and hair regain color. His flesh fills out and builds muscle. Finally, his eyes change from the Rinnegan to his old brown. Stepping back, Naruto smiles and Nagato steps out of his walker for the first time in years and laughs. Aside from a near unbearable itch all over, I feel better than ever. Yeah, that's the muscles building back up. You will have some pains for a few days. Maybe a week or two, but you should be fine after that. Your Rinnegan has also receded. You can still use it, but I suggest waiting a few months to rest your eyes. Nagato shakes his hand excitedly. Thank you. He nods. Now where is the Gedo statue? In the moon where it was sealed. A simple summoning will bring it, but I guess you have a contract already or you would have been able to do that yourself. Naruto nods. It's a bit more complicated than that, but yes, that's the gist. Nagato summons the statue and Naruto looks at it with disgust. He was never pretty to me, but he got worse fusing with her like that. Naruto shakes his head and with a wave of his hand separates the statue from the Biju and set them free. Now what to do with this husk? I think I know. Once more he waved his hand and the statue shimmered and split in two. The halves then changed shape into a tree-shaped stone and a beautiful woman of rather large build who appeared to be asleep. Hello Kaguya. Time for you to go home. Snapping his fingers, the woman disappeared and the tree as well. Where did you send them? The Shinju tree awaits the possibility of its consciousness returning to it, and Kaguya's body is imprisoned in the moon where it belongs. She can't wake without her will anyway, and that's too corrupted to return to her. Over time she will change and wake as a new being. She will be better for it. Konan and Nagato nod. Now do you have a way to contact Madara? I would like to finish him sooner rather than later so I can attend my wedding. Nagato smiles a vicious smile. Yes, I do. Naruto nods and takes them to an empty plane outside Am. Nagato places chakra into a seal on his arm and 30 seconds later the man himself appears in a swirl. Nagato, what is the meaning of this? Naruto smirks. Are you Madara Uchiha? Yes. Are you a compulsive liar? Yes. Naruto smirks. Weird that even when he tells the truth he lies. The sign of one who has transcended reality. Don't you mean sanity? He shrugs. One man's reality, one man's sanity. After all. Changing to a silly voice. Toby is a good boy. Naruto laughs and makes a stick with wood style and shakes it. Here Toby, want a stick. Want it. Fetch boy. Naruto tosses the stick and for a moment Toby looks excited and almost goes after it, causing both Konan and Nagato to laugh. Do not mock me, boy. You have no idea who you are dealing with. Naruto smirks, then flashes to Toby and snatches his mask, causing Konan's eyes to widen. You figured it out. Naruto nods. 5-minute time limit. I could feel it. Nice to see you alive, Obito. Kakashi still mourns you. He snarls. Do not speak to me of that trash. Oh right. He who breaks the rules is trash, but he who abandons his comrade is worse than trash. He got that from you, I think. So, this is all about Rin. Did you really think Kiri was behind that? What do you mean? I saw them and killed them myself. Orochimaru knew many things. He was unaware you were alive, but he investigated that battlefield. The corpses weren't human. Then what were they? Naruto shrugs. Zetsu clones. Madara set you up as a backup in case Nagato failed to revive him. Impossible. Zetsu is Madara's will. Naruto rolls his eyes. Yes, I am sure he thought that. Truth is he was Kaguya's will. He's been manipulating a certain outcome for centuries. It's useless now though, since I separated her from the Shinju's body and locked her away again with no way of retrieval. Peace is coming and I would rather you live to see it. Where is Zetsu and its clones? You can prove all this. Nagato nods. I've seen the evidence myself. Naruto is the new Shinju. Naruto nods. Besides, ask anybody. I almost never lie. Never when it matters. Yes, your mother was much the same. I suppose you blame me for that. I've had time to think on it and some might, but if I blame you for that then I must blame Nagato for his actions and Sasuke for his. Yes, you were responsible but you're not at fault. You were manipulated and knew no better. I don't know how others will react of course, but I find you innocent. Obito looks up at the sky as if asking Rin if he should trust him, but Naruto waits. North in the mountains graveyard. It's where he took me to heal. Naruto nods. Thank you, Obito. You know I am sure Kakashi would like to see you. I'm not sure if I wish to see him. I still hold hate for killing Rin. Naruto shakes his head. That was her choice. As a leaf shinobi, she did her duty and protected it. You should be proud. I know I am, even if I hold little love for the leaf anymore. I don't know. Maybe you were right. But not now. Perhaps another time. Naruto nods and turns to Nagato and Konan. Wanna watch some fireworks? Grab a shoulder. Nagato and Konan look at each other and shrug. A quick duration later and they are all standing on a mountain overlooking the mountain's graveyard. Nagato and Konan are on their knees. Sorry. Dad's scroll did warn me the first time is disorientating. Should pass in a moment. Nagato nods. It's fine. I wasn't aware that technique could be used without a seal. If I recall, your father used special kunai. Naruto nods. I can only assume it's because I am the Shinju now. Konan smiles. Can you sense him? Yeah. 40,000 chakra signatures, all identical and one unique. Let the show begin. Naruto raises a hand laced with Raiten and the sky darkens with clouds. The hand falls and a massive pillar of lightning erases the valley over 300 feet down, silently disintegrating everything in range. Think Kirin without the beast, and on a much larger scale, the flash could be seen in every corner of the elemental nations. And I thought my almighty push or Chibaku Tensei were destructive. Naruto shrugs. Rinnegan is capable of this much when mastered. If I truly wished, I could create or destroy entire worlds. The original Shinju is responsible for all life on Earth after all. Are they all gone? Naruto nods. Yup, all dust. Didn't feel a thing. Konan frowns. Is that how you killed Hiden? Naruto nods. Cut him up and tossed the pieces into a pool of acid provided by the toads piece by piece. No mind without a body and no regeneration without something to regenerate. Nagato frowns. I hadn't considered that. I just thought of ripping out his soul, but the idea disgusted me since I didn't want to know what he was thinking. Naruto laughs. Okay, let's get you two home so I can head to a zoo. Konan smiles and both take his shoulder before flashing away. Naruto spent the rest of the day flashing around the nations delivering invitations, and by sunset he was feeling content. As he walked across the bridge to a zoo, he marveled at the sight. He spotted Shikamaru and Temari once more dozing on a hill nearby and he smirked. Well, this is nostalgic. Didn't I find you two like this last time I saw you? Shika opened an eye and smirked as Temari grumbled. Who's the ass hat that woke me? Well, nice to see you too, Temari. Gaara says hi by the way. She jumps to her feet and hugs him. Naruto. Backing off, she looks him up and down. Damn, if I wasn't dating Shika. He grins. I get that a lot. Sadly, I'm taken too, or hadn't you heard? Hinata walks up behind him and pinches his ass. We heard. But nobody would tell us her name. So, when's the wedding? Naruto grins. Well, Hinata, haven't you grown bold? Her name is Samui and it's in a week. You're all invited. Shikamaru smirks. She's been dating Kiba. He rubbed off on her. Happy for you, Hinata. Anyway, I have to go see the family, so I'll see you all at the wedding. Naruto flashes to the Namikaze mansion and walks right in. Only to get a frying pan to the back of the head. Okay, buddy, I don't know who you are or how you got past the seals, but you better start explaining if you know what's good for you. Naruto grins up at her from his place on the floor. Hi, Karen. Nice to see you, are so protective of our home. She drops the pan and helps him up. Naruto, I'm so sorry I didn't recognize you. He chuckles. Well, it has been almost 5 years and I changed a lot. So how are all the new citizens settling in? Karen tells him about all the people he sent back over the 5 years and he smiled. Oh, Ping and Kurenai are having a baby. Naruto grins. I knew those two were perfect together. Sakarui said something about a wedding. Naruto smiles and tells her the details. I'm leaving the preparations to Ino and Samui when she arrives in a couple days. In the meantime, I need some sleep. 5 years of so little and 2 days of constant use of my new power have left me tired. Shouldn't be down more than 3 to 4 days. Karen grins. Wow, Naruto, Uzumaki tired. Never thought it would happen. Naruto grins back at her from the stairs. Yeah, but people never thought they would see a smile like this on my face again either. But lo and behold. As Naruto drops off to sleep, he is once more in his mindscape with Hagoromo. Hello, my boy. Or should I call you my lord instead? Please. I may have Shinju's power and memories but not his experience. I am not fit to be called lord yet. The old man smiles. Your humble attitude tells me otherwise, but as you wish. Hagoromo looks off into the distance and is silent. You know this could have all gone another way. In another life you never became cold and Shinju never awakened. I was forced to give my power to you and Sasuke to stop my mother. It all ended well of course, but never as happy as this and with far more death and pain. You ended up with Hinata if you were curious. She's a nice girl but she never quite got me. He nods. You were simpler in the other life. Far less hated. He pauses a moment before continuing. Have a happy life, my boy. No matter how long you live or when you wake or sleep, always try to be happy. That's the key to make it all worth it. Naruto nods and Hagoromo fades. Naruto wakes 4 days later feeling much better. It's October 10th. Looking at the closet door he notices a new haori there with a note on it. It's made of silk, blood red in color with a golden tree and his Shinjugen in the trunk. Happy birthday, brother. Your friends told me you never had a good one and with your training you had no time, so I thought it about time you got a gift. Karen. P.S. I like Sumui. She's cool. Naruto grins and puts it on. Walking through the street in a good mood he encounters Ino who double takes. Damn Naruto, is that you? I heard you changed, but wow. Hey Ino. How's the wedding prep? Great. Sumui seems to leave most of it to me though. She says she doesn't have the imagination for it. Naruto nods. I think she's a little more self-conscious than she lets on, but it's fine. Hey, was that flash of lightning a few days ago you? What was that? A dark-skinned muscular man with large weights on his wrists walks up. I would like to know that as well. Extermination of a nasty bug waiting to happen. Ino and I nod in understanding. So, you finally absorbed the Shinju. What have you been doing? Your sister wouldn't let anybody see you. Naruto nods. Took care of a few threats that were a long time coming, then delivered the invitations, and after that I slept for 4 days. 5 years on a few hours a day, then a whole day of near constant use of a new power will tire out anybody, even a god. I nods in understanding. Try paperwork sometime, my boy. That will put you to sleep. Ha 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 ha, have you tried shadow clones? I blinks a few times before he excuses himself and activates his lightning armor to get away. For the next hour all that can be heard from the nearby forest is I cursing his stupidity and slamming his head against trees until they break, much to the amusement of the citizens. Next to speak to Naruto was Mei. Hello Naruto. Mei. Good to see you. How's things in Kiri? Peaceful. Yagura is slowly being accepted back into society. Zabuza and I are dating. Haku is beating off the boys with a stick. Says she is already interested in somebody. Wonder who that could be. Mei gives a smirk. Naruto shakes his head. Like I said, only if Sumui approves. The wife must come first. Mei smiles. A good policy. Though most men wouldn't have the guts to ask. Most men don't have hundreds of fangirls and a few worth speaking to. Most haven't lived a life as alone as mine. Most don't make promises they intend to keep. But like I said, it's up to Sumui. Oh, by the way, I love the book. Just the right balance between story, drama, action, and steamy adult literature. Ino perks up. What book? You wrote a book. Naruto nods. A demon scorned. Ino bugs out. You're Nova Ripper. Naruto nods and hears Tsunade laughing. Well, that explains a bit. Jiraiya was crying, saying how such drivel with so little action could outsell his books 5 times over before he died. It's popular in all demographics. I heard there was even a clean version put out for those underage, and it's quite popular at the academy. Well, I figured the story is great on its own, so take out the sex and dull the violence a bit and the kids would like it too. Mei giggles. Well, don't let it get out too much or you might have even more fangirls. Naruto stiffens and looks to Ino to find she isn't there. Oh crap. I forgot who I was talking to. Mei raises an eyebrow and Tsunade laughs. Ino was known as the gossip queen of Konoha before leaving. By now everybody in Azu knows, and by morning all of Fire and Wind Country. Naruto pales and Mei giggles. By the way Naruto, I haven't met Sumui yet. Is she here? Naruto nods. Somewhere. I only just woke up myself after a 4-day nap, so I haven't seen her yet. Tsunade blinks. 4 days. Are you alright, brat? Naruto waves her off. 5 years lack of sleep and overuse of new power. No big deal. Tsunade nods. Ah, here comes Sumui now. She walks right past Tsunade and Mei and into Naruto's arms and kisses him full on the lips. Breaking the kiss, she smiles. I've waited 2 years to do that. Cool outfit by the way. I missed you too, Sumui. Naruto looks at Tsunade. Sorry. Sumui, this is Tsunade Senju and Mei Terumi. Sumui bows politely. Cool to meet you. Sumui's eyes move from Mei to Tsunade and lock. The both seem to be observing each other, circling and studying in a mirror-like fashion. After a minute of that, they both pause and smile before turning to Naruto and in stereo. I like her. Mei is chuckling and Naruto is facepalming. Not one word, Mei. Not one word. She finally snaps and laughs. I've heard of finding a girl like your mother, but this is ridiculous. Naruto groans and it takes a moment for the words to sink in until Sumui and Tsunade look at each other and smirk. Twins. The next 2 days were spent laughing as Naruto was heard running all over the island trying to escape the fangirls, screaming things like making laws against fangirls. The wedding was a big but simple affair. Ino took care of the floral arrangements herself and Choji's mother baked the cake, which was a multi-layer orange and red sponge cake with the icing forming the Uzumaki spiral. There was a surprising number of gifts. Sumui's favorite came from Tsunade. A list of shops who made clothes for busty women to help avoid back problems. Naruto's was a bonsai plant. He always liked gardening. The week after, nobody could find Naruto or Sumui at any party, of which happened every night. Though a few knew exactly where they were. Naruto grins after another hot round of sex. I didn't know you were an Ika fan, Sumui. She smiles. My friends always imply I need to get laid, but they never guessed either. I just like the ideas I get from them. Not so much a fan of the books themselves. Yours is much better. Naruto chuckles. Did you know before or after Ino? Before. You write the way you speak. Naruto kisses her on the cheek. Well then, I'm glad you like to hear me talk. Sumui kisses him back. Naruto looks her in the eyes. I've been meaning to ask. How do you feel about sharing me with other women? Sumui pouts. Am I not enough for you? Naruto grins. If you say no, then I will accept. I just have to ask. Sumui smiles. It's cool. Gotta rebuild the clan after all, and besides, more girls means more fun for me. But give me a list first. I want to approve of anybody we invite into our bed. Naruto nods and kisses her sensually on the lips, drawing it out for minutes before breaking. I love you, Sumui. Now and forever. Cool, because I love you too. Naruto and Sumui spent many years happy ruling Azu. Eventually the alliances grew until all the elemental nations were ruled by the Azu Empire. Wars were a thing of the past. Though ninja were kept on as a means to police the nations and solve problems, life was good. And Sumui approved of many girls. Among those being Ino, Hana, Anko, Yugao, Jade, who was formerly Mouse, Haku, Kayuki joined just once to help Siren Air, but they still visit, and Naruto still considers them family. Shion joined many times over the years. Over 1,000 years his family grew, and he was loved the world over. He had 10 wives over that time, beginning with Sumui. Each died of old age and each felt loved and happy all their lives, as did Naruto. 1,000 years of peace, called later the Shinju era. Naruto finally felt it was time to sleep. Only to wake when the world needed him once again. Answer, sleep he did. If only he remembered his luck with plans. They never went right. That will be it for this video. If you want more, comment down below, like, subscribe. And see you guys later.